Cool. So yeah, agenda for today. First, like couple of hours, we're just gonna be delivering a ton of sauce. I have my presentation right here. Then Matt or Tay is gonna go next. Matt is a killer with live streams, so obviously I'll let him introduce himself when he's about to get started. Tay as well, you guys already know, one of the top teen TikTok shop affiliates. And yeah, so first 2 hours we're gonna be delivering the value, a ton of sauce. Day one, which is today, obviously, is gonna be more like beginner, intermediate stuff, but still gonna be very important, like foundational stuff. Tomorrow we're really gonna be getting into like some advanced scaling strategies. I'm gonna be talking about like automations, using ManyChat, Pinterest, different things like that. So real sauce that like nobody is talking about in the space right now. Yeah, and then after we do these 2 hours, I ordered catering. So we're gonna have food, we're gonna eat good food, go out, film some content, just chop it up, whatever, right? Have a great time. And after that, we're gonna do hot seats. So we're gonna go around to wherever you're stuck right now in your affiliate journey. We'll break down your videos, your account, tell you how to get unstuck, how to make a shit ton of more money. And yeah, how's that sound, guys?
Great.
Cool. Awesome. So yeah, just getting right into it. Cool. So what we're going to be covering on day one. So a few things right here. Why TikTok shop affiliate is the best opportunity in the world right now. Unicorn method, which is like what I teach, what I'm known for, how to find winning products, and then how to create videos that actually convert. So I know my clients are here. So just for a little bit of credibility purposes, I've done 3 million GMV, multiple 6-figure profit months. And so that's just like for credibility reasons. Now, before we get into everything, most important thing that I want to touch on is mindset. So I know that there's like a lot of you maybe even thinking like, oh, there's just like woo woo, like everybody talks about mindset, but the truth is, guys, like it is so important to have a positive mindset and believe that anything is possible. And so I can say without a shadow of a doubt, mindset is the #1 reason that I'm at where I'm at. You know, every successful person in this room, Matt, Tam, I'm sure you guys will agree, your mindset dictates everything in your life, right? So it's incredibly important that you have a positive mindset. When it comes to like having bad thoughts, because I'm not gonna lie, you know, you're gonna have anxieties, doubts, insecurities, like, oh, like I don't feel like good enough to post there. Maybe you're having some low days, some low weeks, and you just feel like giving up, or you feel like not trying. It's important that you reframe that and you realize, like, if I just keep going, like this is where most people would give up. So if I just keep going, keep grinding, like that's how you're gonna become successful. So it's very important, reframe those bad thoughts. And you know, guys, I'll be honest, like there's times in my affiliate journey where I'm having low days, low weeks, but I understand like it's the name of the game. If I just keep going, keep posting, keep putting in the inputs, things are gonna pick up, things are gonna get better, okay? So reframe anything, like what if this doesn't work out, to like what if it does work out, right? It takes the same amount of energy and effort. You know, a lot of times what will happen as well is like maybe you have a shitty thing happen to you in the morning. Maybe like you had an argument with your parent, spouse, partner, whatever happened. It's so easy to let that dictate the rest of your day, right? You get into this like bad mindset, but it takes just as much effort and energy to just be positive and not let that affect you, you know? So if you can be in a bad mood for no reason, you can be in a good mood for no reason. So just try to understand that like being positive is gonna take you where you wanna go. And last little point right here is anything you want, you can create. So this is very huge. Like this is why I talk about mindset. They know because they're my one-on-one clients. Like that's the first module that we have in the course. And so I don't know if you guys know my story. I know they do, but 2 years ago I was dead broke, on food stamp, $40,000 in debt, literally like fucking just going through it with my girl. So we were delivering for Uber Eats literally to like houses in the hills in Hollywood, and it was just like rough, right? And now we're actually like in the hills. We've created success, you know, I have the cool car, my mom's retired, all those amazing things. But it's all because like even when I was at that point, I understood like I have to believe that everything is possible. I have to believe I'm gonna get out of this situation. So no matter where you're at, I mean, I'm sure like none of you guys are in that position, but even me, I was in that terrible position. I was still able to get out of that. So that's just one little thing right there that will make all the difference. So that's why I wanted to touch on that before we get into like the actual value. So TikTok shop, why is it the best opportunity right now? Well, if we look at what China is doing, they have their own version of TikTok. I believe it's pronounced like Douyin, and they're doing 500 billion plus a year. And so the way it works, like the US is always about 3 to 5 years behind when it comes to like commerce trends. And so if we look at that TikTok shop, it's still in its early infancy stages. I mean, me, Matt, and Tay were just talking about that. It's literally been out for like 2 years. So you guys are getting at the perfect time. And if we look at the people who got rich off drop shipping, like my boy Scott Hilsey in those earlier years, Amazon FBA in 2017, Snapchat and crypto in 2019. I had a few like influencer buddies that like with the Snapchat Spotlight program, they were making $1 million months. So it's insane. And so when there's opportunities like this, you want to take full advantage of them and just run it up, right? That's what you really want to be able to do. So TikTok shop is an opportunity right now, and it teaches you skills that will transfer over to anything you do in life. So even if TikTok shop were to go away, which I don't believe it will, I think it makes the government, the US, way too much money. Obviously they love making money, taxing corporations. So it's not going anywhere. But even if it did, you know, you have the skills of sales, marketing, understanding the psychology of why people buy. Content creation is also huge, right? People want to be influencers these days, building your personal brand. I won't even get into that, but that's huge. I recommend all you guys to start like building out your brand. You know, even just like recording out here, talking about you're at the retreat, you're learning, like it's super important to have a personal brand this day and age because it can open up so many doors for you. I mean, if I didn't have a personal brand, I wouldn't have gotten connected with Matt. I wouldn't have gotten connected with Tay. This event wouldn't even be a thing. So that's something I would want you guys to consider, making a personal brand, all right? But it's all like these skills that you're building that are obviously going to transfer over to anything that you do in life, whether it's starting a business, whether it's doing another hustle, whatever whatever it is, you're gonna have these skills with you for life. Like I said in the bottom, this skill set which will feed you for life, even if TikTok disappears. So what I'm kind of known for and the approach I like to take with TikTok Shop and have been able to crack multiple six-figure profit months is called the unicorn method. So it's not about going against the grain. What I see a lot of affiliates do is they'll just go on Calidata, the daily virals, top TikTok videos, and they're pretty much just copying word for word, or what some people will do, like 80-20 it, right? And the thing is, you're never gonna do as good as the original video, as the original creator. So what is a unicorn? And I wanna like actually ask this to you guys. So we'll go around, like just tell me what you think this means. Like when you hear the word unicorn, what do you guys think? Matt?
Once in a blue moon or once in a lifetime type, either video, story, person, business.
Yeah. Say?
Some unique, something that stands out, something that, you know, is like shocking to the people that see it.
Yeah.
I'd say something exotic.
Exotic. Yeah, I like that. Gabe?
I'd just say something unique, because like unicorns have horns, so not everyone has a horn.
Yeah. Yeah. Hugo?
The same thing these dudes are saying, unique.
Mm-hmm. Roberto?
I think a unicorn is a mythical creature, but that's the point. It's different.
Absolutely. Yeah, so you guys are all pretty much spot on. Like it's, when you think of a unicorn, it's rare, it's mythical, you don't really see it, and immediately it stands out. If there's 100 horses, one unicorn, where your eye's gonna be pointing to? The unicorn, right? Because it's rare, it's unique. So that's exactly what I'm trying to like get into, you guys. You need to find your unique edge with TikTok Shop. Like this is the #1 thing that has made me the most amount of money. All my top friends, I have a buddy, Ruben, he's the #1 Spanish speaking creator in the world. He's done over $1 million in profit with TikTok Shop. I just showed him the car lineup, it's crazy. He's got like a McLaren, Huracan, a Technica, it's insane. But his unique edge is obviously like skits, speaking Spanish. And so you have to figure out what separates you from the thousands of other affiliates in the world. So when you're just copying the top videos, when you're just 80-20 them, you're doing what everyone else is doing. Like sure, you can crack 10, 20K months, but do you really think that's gonna take you to those 100K months? Absolutely the fuck not. Like you have to find your unique edge, what's gonna make you stand out. And so it doesn't even have to be overcomplicated. Like it can be something as simple as speaking another language. This is what we tapped into Hugo. So he came to me at around like 10K months and he was just doing English content. And so now what we're doing is tapping into that Spanish content, because there's a huge market for Spanish speaking creators, right? And so it can be something as simple as speaking another language, being older. You know, sometimes, well, we're all young here, but sometimes a lot of people will think that, you know, it's a disadvantage to be older, or maybe you have a disability, or maybe like you're overweight. The thing is, that can be your unique edge. As long as you know how to tap into that and you treat it as an advantage instead of a disadvantage, that can be your unicorn. It can be something as simple as like being a mom. You know, we're working with Tenzi right now. She works 2 jobs, IT, she has multiple kids, and she was kind of telling me the same thing on our initial onboarding call. She was like, well, I feel like I'm older, I'm a mom, I can't really relate to this younger audience, right? But we fucking like tapped into like her mom edge. She just had a kid, so that postpartum angle. Her skin was like not in the best shape after she had her kid. And so we tapped into that. She started promoting beef tallow. And this month, it's our first month working together. She's gonna end at like 15K profit, which is insane. Immediately, why? Because we found her unicorn. She thought it was a disadvantage to be a mom, to be older, to have postpartum skin. It's not, it's an advantage. So understand that, right? Being a fit guy, if you work out, if you're in shape, like why the hell are you not promoting weight loss supplements, L-carnitine, yerba mate, gym equipment, right? So figure that out. Even going through a weight loss journey, like I said, if you're a bigger dude, which I don't think anyone here is, but like if you're a bigger dude, you can use that to your advantage and talk about like, this is what I'm doing to lose weight. Obviously with violations, you wanna be a little bit careful with pounds and all that, but you know, you can tap into like, hey, this is what I'm taking, like L-carnitine, it's helping curb my cravings and I'm down 15 potatoes instead of saying pounds, my first month taking this. So you can always tap into your unique edge, right? So yeah, any questions about the unicorn so far? Cool, making sense? Awesome, awesome. So yeah, I have this prompt right here as well. Obviously when we're working with one-on-one clients like Roberto or Hugo, we really just do that for them, but I'm gonna be sending this in the group chat. So just to like also say, if you're not using ChatGPT right now to help you make money, then you're so behind. AI is the future. I know a lot of people are kind of like, I don't really want to use AI, like it takes away from other people's jobs. Like guys, AI is not going anywhere. It's only going to get bigger and bigger. If you're not tapped in, you're going to miss out. So yeah, we use ChatGPT in our business every day and everything. And so this is like the prompt, pretty much act like a 7-figure TikTok shop coach. I want to find my unicorn method, the content style, product category, and hook structure that fits my personality and strengths best. Here's what I'm working with. And so you do your interest, right? So whatever it is, like for me, I'd be like, oh, I'm into fitness. I like fashion. I like working out. I like business type stuff. So you put in your interests, whatever sports, whatever you're into, right? My strengths. So whether it's you've already been doing content for a while, you're good at talking on the camera, you know, you're funny. I know Tay, like he's like rage baiting, he's funny, right? He's got that personality. So that's his strength. That's his like unique edge, right? So whatever you're good at. And like I said, it also doesn't have to be like this crazy unique edge. Like a lot of people think they need to be like super different. Like I said, it could be something as simple as speaking another language, being older, being a parent, whatever it is, your experience level. Okay. Obviously, you know, some of us are more more like just starting out, some of us have already cracked 10K, 20K months, but you want to like also like be able to put that into the prompt so it knows. And then I want to, whatever like you want to do, whatever you see yourself doing in terms of content. So whether you want to be on camera, whether you want to do faceless, whether you want to do voiceover, eventually if you ever want to do AI, which right now would be a little wary about that because the TikTok AI is like, they're just giving hella violations. So you want to be a little bit careful with that. But whatever it is you want to do in terms of content, right? And you ask it based on that, tell me what product categories should I test first? What type of content style and tone fit me best? What kind of hooks should I be leading with? And then actually giving you video ideas that you can film, post today. So like I said, I'll send this prompt in the group chat so you guys can figure this out. It's super, super important. Hugo, what's up, brother?
So my ChatGPT, I use it every day, like for the Spanish and stuff. My thing is, I feel like it already, like, if I tell it what's my unicorn, I already know it.
It knows, yeah.
So what I'm trying to get at is, like you say, give 3 video ideas. The way I use it is I'll get those scripts that you sent me, and I'll pick the ones that hit, and then I'll be like, I want to reinforce more the pain.
Yep.
I want to hit more the formula, like show off the angle, and then pain like that, and reinforcement, and then another pain point with the CTA. That's how I have gotten my ChatGPT, and honestly, that's what given me the most results.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. And we're gonna tap into that, like actually how important it is to tap in that pain because it's the most important thing. You know, people, if you don't make them feel something, they're not gonna buy, right?
Spanish is the one thing that I'm noticing, especially the white captions like that. I mean, Roberto, this is one thing for you, bro, because it's like the white captions, they feel like your mom and dad scrolling through Facebook. And then when you, me duele la pierna, or like I siento esto, or like feeling that's how they get my bad.
No.
But
they get it.
Yeah, that's how it is, bro, the tone.
Yeah, dude, it's huge. And we actually talked about, I think that was on our initial call where I was like, dude, the Hispanics love the captions. And so that's also another thing, like you have to know who your audience is. We'll touch on that. But yeah, great points right there, Hugo. I mean, yeah, guys, like I said, ChatGPT, it's not going anywhere. You gotta be using it every single day. I use it every single day. Probably half my business, to be honest. Obviously, we like change things up, but like you gotta be using it every day. It's just like a calculator. When the calculator first came out, I'm sure people were like, I'm not using this shit. Like it's dumb, like it's cheating, whatever. It's not cheating. It's just, this is where the world is heading. You may as well take advantage that way.
Phones now in school.
Yeah, exactly. Same thing. And like the thing is, a lot of people are like, oh, it's taking away jobs. But I mean, when the camera first came out, it took away the jobs. I don't know if you guys might be really young. How they used to take photos, it was like they didn't take photos, they would just paint people, right? And then the camera came out, they're like, oh, it's taking away jobs from painters. Like, yeah, but that's the way the world is heading. So you never want to go against the grain. Take advantage, okay? So now talking about product selection, finding your winning products. Besides the unicorn, this is going to be the single most important thing. I always say you cannot polish a turd. You can't sell a product that nobody wants. It is so important to find products that fit this criteria. So we're gonna talk about it. You want your products to solve someone's pain or take them closer to their desire. So I'll give you guys an example again with Hugo. It's literally a pain-based product. It's a leg massager. And so we're tapping into obviously moms who work hard, they're on their legs all day and they have that knee pain, the varices, varicose veins. And so that's like a literal pain, right? Sometimes it won't be that obvious, but you always wanna like tap into that pain. The other thing is like taking someone closer to their desire. Not every product or item is gonna like solve pain. So like for example, I'll use like my Corvette. Tay has the same one. It's not necessarily taking away pain. Like I didn't hate my Toyota Corolla. Like there's no pain in that, but it's more so like taking someone closer to their desire, like what they want out of life. Obviously, when you have a nice car, you know you're gonna get compliments, stairs. It's gonna open up, you know, connections, you know, new doors, right? So it's taking them closer to their desire. Now, the best products, I want you guys, if you take anything away from this presentation today, the best products do both these. So I always use this example, but Ozempic, guys. There's a reason that Ozempic, Mounjaro, Retatrutide, they are the #1 products in the world right now. Like people, like it's gonna be a $1 trillion industry, no doubt in my mind, especially because America's like so fucking fat. But so the reason that Ozempic is so good is because it takes away their pain, right? Of being fat, unhealthy, feeling insecure when they take off their shirt, you know, climbing up the stairs and feeling winded. It takes away that pain, but at the same time, it's taking them closer to their desire, right? They want to be fit, they want to be healthy, they want to live on earth for a longer period of time, they want to get complimented when they take off their shirt. So the best products always do both of those things, okay? Is this all making sense so far? Awesome. Another thing is products that are visually appealing and can sell themselves. All right, this makes your life 10 times easier. Obviously, you know, a good salesman is going to be able to sell like a lot of things. I'll show you guys an example of what I mean when I say visual products. As you guys can see, so this is a very visually appealing product. Right off the bat, you can tell exactly what it's doing. It's removing the wrinkles. So products like this just make your life so much easier because it doesn't require you to like think of so much to say, different angles to take. It kind of like speaks for itself. It's going to sell itself very well, right? So that's what I mean when I say you should be looking for visual products. All right.
I have a question. When you're looking through Calidata, through, what's it called? What's the other website?
Daily virals?
Yeah, and TikTok, right? I'm looking, like, for example, when I found the leg massages, I really found it through TikTok, but it was like, it already had 60K sold, but I already knew that I could, like, grow it, for example.
Yep.
Now, with with the ankle brace, it's like a brand new product, bro. It's a brand deal, obviously. That's the
You're talking about like the compression, like sock type thing?
And that one's hitting, bro. I have like 20 sales, or it's like at 20 sales.
Yeah.
It's like a golden goose egg. You get what I'm trying to say? Like,
I know.
that's what it hits all those criteria, right? Because I've uploaded like 4 videos and it's already sold. Like I have one video at 25K or like 30K.
Yeah, and it's selling, right?
Yeah, so that's considered like one of those like
Solves pain. Like it's more so of a general rule. Not every product that you promote is going to be visually appealing. It's not going to speak for itself, especially with like supplements. I know Tay, you do a lot of supplements. Like it's just a bottle. Like it's not visually appealing. So when you do that, so when you are doing a product that's not visually appealing, that just means your messaging has to be that much more dialed in. So it's much easier. This is something else. Actually, huge point right here. So I read a book, the #1 advertising book of all time. It's called Breakthrough Advertising by Eugene Schwartz. The main thing I took away from that book was that you cannot create a desire in someone. Okay, so people, they already know what they want out of life. So whether it's people, they already have leg pain, like we're talking about with Hugo, or they have neck pain, whatever they want in life, they kind of already know what they want. If someone wants to lose weight, they've already been thinking about that. So it's so much easier to sell to people who already have these desires, and all you're doing is pretty much channeling their desires. You don't want to go against the grain and work super hard to get the sale. Like why not just try to reach the people that already want the things that you're promoting, okay? So the truth is you really can't create desire in somebody, like I just said. You simply help direct them towards the things they already want, right? So it's much easier to sell teeth whitening strips to someone who already has insecurities about yellow teeth. So that's why it's so important in those first 3 seconds as well. We're going to touch on that to really make sure you're being very specific with who you're targeting, tapping into that insecurity, that pain of people. Same thing, like if you were trying to sell water, like the best person you could sell that to is someone who's dying of thirst, right? Because obviously they need water. So why not make your life easier and reach into those people who already have these pains, these insecurities? It's gonna make your life so much easier. Okay, so meet them at their pain and then present to them the solution. So how do you actually structure this though? So this is gonna be also hugely important. This is pretty much how you make not only viral videos, but videos that actually convert into sales. Okay, so this is the structure that I follow, that I teach all my clients. That's how we get such good results. So the hook needs to be precise and immediately target their pain or desire. The hook needs to be precise, immediately target their pain or desire. So with Hugo, I'm using you a lot as an example, but it's because like you're here. And if you work 10-hour shifts and you come home with your legs throbbing, like that immediately, it alienates so many people. People who don't work those long shifts, people who don't stand on their legs all day, and he's targeting Hispanic moms who are working hard because obviously he's speaking Spanish. So right off the bat, he's getting so specific. And leading into my second point, every time that you make a video, you should have the thought in the back of your mind. It doesn't matter, guys, if I'm making a shop video, doesn't matter if I'm making a video for my personal brand, on my Hustle with Seb account, on my YouTube. I already know exactly who I'm trying to speak to. That's like the first thing I try to figure out. Who am I trying to target with this? Okay, so every time you make a video, have it in the back of your mind that you're speaking to one specific person. When you try to be broad or you speak to too many, you end up actually reaching nobody. And this is something that a lot of people will struggle with, especially beginner affiliates. They're like, if you're a college student or you work or you do this or you do that, it's like, dude, you're speaking to all these different people and you think that you're reaching all of them, but you're actually just alienating all of them. When in fact, you should just be reaching one specific person. And it's okay that you're gonna alienate 99% of the population because all you need is that 1% to be like, this is for me. This is the product for me. This video is speaking directly to me. So the more specific that you can get, that's the most important thing, okay? And then when it comes to actual hook, Tay does this a lot, like great stuff. I do as well, obviously, Hugo. But the hook should be bold, controversial, or drive curiosity. One thing about the time we live in, which is, it's a good thing, but it's also unfortunate, is like we live in an attention economy, meaning that, guys, everybody's like having a million things that they're thinking about when it comes to videos, right? They're watching sports, they're watching clips, streamers, podcasts, all these different things. People's minds are like convoluted with all these different things. So you need to be able to like capture their attention and stop the scroll, right? So how do you do that? You have a bold hook where it's controversial. You say something that pisses them off and makes them keep watching, or you drive curiosity, right? But it's very important that you actually get them to stop the scroll. Otherwise, they're not going to be able to watch the rest of the video. So hook, when it comes to your videos, that's the most important thing. That's what you really want to focus on, making sure that you have a great hook. Yeah, go ahead, Matt.
So I get that first part. How do you transition from there, like the next sentence? I'm sure you'll have some examples, but it's like if you work 10 hours a day and come home with your legs throbbing, watch this video.
No.
Maybe
Reinforce the statement. That's it.
Yeah.
Reinforce, generate more curiosity.
Yeah.
Generate more curiosity associated
Yeah.
with another pain point or deeper to that pain point. That's what I do.
Absolutely, yeah, you can drive that pain further. Or you could even, what we do a lot with Hugo is we kind of like tell more of the story. Like my mom was struggling with this for so long. We tried so many different things like lotions, sprays, all the other stuff. And you're like, but this is the only thing that helped. And then you introduce the product.
Spray. I don't know if that one, my bad, bro. That one's really good, bro. That one's really good. Y'all gotta do that one.
Wait, so you just, like what he said, you just kind of handle objections? Like I tried everything else.
You can pretty much reinforce the pain. You can talk about what you've tried before. That way people know like, oh, like he's tried a ton of different things and this is the only thing that worked out. Usually you don't want to get right into the product. Not saying that doesn't work, sometimes it does, but you want to like further drive that initial curiosity, whatever hook you ended up going with. Does that make sense, Matt? Yep. Cool, awesome. So yeah, next in the structure, guys, this is also hugely important. All these 4 components, there's 4 elements in the video structure. Story is also very important. Like I said, guys, you cannot create desire in somebody. You can only channel their currently existing desire, okay? So one thing I see a lot with people is they get too hung up on talking about the features of a product. That shit is boring. Nobody cares. And the truth is, guys, like that's not what makes people buy. Like me and Tay, we didn't buy the Corvette because like it's got like the fucking, I don't know, like just, I'm trying to think of like features.
For example, bro, the leather.
Like the leather, the speaker system, yeah. Like,
I wasn't like, ooh, these Bose speakers.
yeah, exactly. Like I was looking at it, I was like, like it's cool, but like why we bought it, like I said, the outcome, like the status, the compliments, we know what it's gonna do for our brand. People care about the outcome. So people always want to know, how is this product actually going to change my life? How is it going to make my life better? And so how am I going to tie this in? Like, what am I trying to get at? All right. You want to sell the dream, right? So instead of saying like, let's use a supplement, for example, this has yerba mate, it's got beetroot, it's FDA approved, which I know a lot of beginner affiliates do. They just talk about the ingredients, the feature of a product. Nobody gives a shit, guys. What you need to say instead is like, I took this shit and it literally made me swim my pants. So basically you lost so much weight that like your pants don't even fit you anymore, right? You need to sell that dream, sell that outcome, because that's what people care about. They don't care about the features. They don't care about how they're going to get to the outcome. They just want to make sure that they're going to get that outcome. So sell the dream. I use the plane example a lot in my videos, but like if you're working with a travel agent and let's say you're going to like fucking Marbella or something, they're not going to tell you, oh, the plane ride is 12 hours, the seats are uncomfortable, and like, you know, the logistics of all that shit, right? That's not what you care about. They're going to tell you you're going to be sipping margaritas on the beach with your wife. You're going to have a great time. The weather's the best you've ever seen in life, and you're going to see fireworks. They're selling that dream, right? They're not talking about the logistics, the plane ride, all that shit, because that's not what you care about. You care about, where am I going? What's the outcome? Okay. So that example will kind of help emphasize what I'm trying to say. All right. Let the product speak for itself. This is also why visually appealing products are so great, because they sell themselves. So one thing is, a lot of my guys are promoting base. They're doing good with base hair products, but sometimes when they're like putting in their hair, they're like being like, so I just get a little scoop of this, I put it in my hair, I mix it around. It's like, you don't have to do that because you're already showing that in the video. So while you're like showing the product, you can talk about different things. Maybe you can talk about how this makes your hair look so wavy, how it makes it look like you just got out of the beach, how you've been getting so many compliments. But let the product speak for itself. Take this away as well. Like if you're ever promoting a product and you're doing the thing like you're using, you don't have to say like, this is what I'm using, this is what I'm doing. People can already see that, guys. People aren't dumb. They can already see that you're doing, so they may as well talk about something else related to the product, related to the dream outcome, okay? Does this make sense? Any questions?
I actually got one.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
So when you said like not to like talk about the benefits, would it be like an example, if you're selling something like L-theanine, you talk about how like this ingredient led to this like result, and then be like the L-theanine, and then like I don't know another ingredient, but like the L-theanine, and then like this other ingredient led to this. Like you're like connecting the ingredients to the result, or you just go straight to the result.
Yeah. So I want to make it clear, I'm not saying don't talk about the benefits. I'm saying like don't get so hung up on the ingredient features. So yeah, if you want to mention like obviously like berry powder or whatever ingredient, it helps lead to this outcome. Yes, that's completely fine. That's a great question. Okay. Yeah, makes sense?
Yeah.
Cool.
So, like what you're saying right here, because I want to try, for example, with the tracker.
Yeah.
I've seen a really popular skit in Spanish, like, oh, that person took my wallet in Spanish, and all you hear is beep, beep, beep. That's already, people already know. That's basically like skit style, right? Like that's good for, like that's an angle in itself. So what I'm trying to ask is, how many times could you replicate that? Because I'm gonna do this right now today with Gabe, but it's like, do we just change the shirt? Do we just, like that's all you do, right? Like that's change the shirt. Just
yeah, if something is cooking, guys, like understand you can run that shit up. And I feel like I'm like one of the best to do this, because my #1 video made me over 6 figures in profit. And I ran that angle at least 1,000 maybe. Like I'm not even kidding, 1,000 videos probably of that same angle.
Right now, bro, I'm not gonna lie. Right now, what you're saying is, I literally envision like my mom, like the one how you kept saying, get her to walk, get her to walk. And I keep not doing that, but like right here, just seeing the vision, like the desire, or like the vision of her just walking better.
Yeah.
It will sell better.
Absolutely. And this is why the purpose of this, I want you guys to like come out of this and understand exactly what to do next, and like the concept of how like 7-figure affiliate thinks about all this shit, right? And so yeah, cool. I feel like I was gonna say something else, but yeah, does that answer your question, Hugo? Is everything making sense? Oh yeah, so yeah, what I was gonna say is when you guys find something that works, you wanna run that shit till the wheels fall off. Another thing that I see a lot of beginner affiliates do is they'll have a video pop off, a product pop off, and they're over here, 80% of their content is like other products, other angles. It's like, what are you doing? You found something that made you money, run that shit up, right? Like keep doing it, and then eventually when it slows down, either try different angles, and then when you've exhausted all those angles, then you finally start to look for different products. Okay, so with the compression shirts, what was working for me for a very long time is like, hey, if your gut is like biggest, you put this on, you're still gonna look jacked, makes your arms look huge, but it hides the gut. Once that angle was exhausted, then we went into skit style. Once that was exhausted, then we started looking for different products. Okay? Yeah, what's up, Owen?
So you said you did the 100K was from the shirts. When you copied it a bunch of times, did you just copy the angle or did you literally copy like word for word?
So good question. I would do a lot of like word for word, but since I was posting like 10 times a day, I didn't want to do that like 10 times. So I would like switch up the angle a little bit, but it was still like the same concept overall. Like people are insecure about their gut, especially when they're bulking. So if you put on the shirt, you're still gonna have really jacked arms, gonna hide the gut. It's like more so the angle as well. Any other questions, guys?
I got a follow-up question. Like you asked, would you just change the shirt and the skin?
Yeah, that's
like,
what-
I would argue from my experience that you don't even need to change.
You don't even need to.
Yeah,
That's what I would- that's
I
what
think
I
that's,
heard
I
too.
thought that early on, so I had some success with a lot of whiteboard method like Scam, and I'm telling you, I've recorded similar to Sebastian, like maybe 1,000 of the same exact videos with different textbooks up on the screen. So
I can't wait till we start
I
showing
think it's a
you
waste of time if he
That's why-
goes to waste change his shirt. I think it's like a waste of energy to figure out and change the
Yeah.
shirt. Just keep running it.
Yeah, guys.
Turn the camera 2 inches,
Yeah.
have a different background.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
That's what that's
Zero problem.
just seeing like this right here. Like we could be one over there, like beep beep the tracker, or one over here going
Yeah.
up the stairs. Like I'm following you with the tracker. Okay.
Yeah, the one thing as well to keep in mind, every video you make is gonna be shown in different people. It's gonna reach a different audience, so.
That's the hard part too. Is you uploading. You gotta remember like that 1,000 is a whole different 1,000. But I don't like. Sometimes I forget that, bro.
Yeah, and it takes a person on average 7 times of saying something before they buy. That's why it's also important to be posting volume. What's up?
Okay, so this is kind of, it's not like on topic, but it's still on topic.
Yeah.
I noticed on your accounts you like spam earwax, and I used to do earwax. I don't know if you like, like we dig it out.
Yeah.
And I like every video I posted like after a certain point, which is violation.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like ripping. Like I have one at like 20 million, and I got a violation. But like I see that like you still keep posting those types of videos. I think you do like that. You take that one guy's videos, it's like where it's like,
Pulling out the earwax, right?
yeah. How do you just like bypass stuff? Because like, do you ever get hit?
Yeah, so my main account right now is currently banned. So yeah, funny you bring that up. But yeah, I'm working to get it back. But that's why I would say right now, guys, you definitely want to be extra careful with using other people's clips, using AI. Like I would just recommend right now, like the main best thing that you're going to be doing is just original content, And I think that's why the shirts work so well, because it was my original video. I wasn't using other clips and I didn't get violations for that. So yeah, that's my best advice, especially right now with the AI, with the TikTok algorithm, people's accounts are getting wiped, banned. So just want to be extra careful. I wouldn't even consider like conspiracy style right now or reusing other clips.
TikTok shop always moves in phases. Right now it's just a ban phase, and you just gotta wait it out, and then you can get back and ease into the more risky content. Because you'll notice if you go on the daily virals, a lot of videos that are going viral, it's riskier content. They're saying risky things that you wouldn't necessarily want to say in a video, but they're able to get away with it and
Yeah.
take the risk, and then they run them back. And if their account gets banned, it's like, well, they already made 100K off taking that risk. So it's worth it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and one like little thing to think about too is whenever you're done with the video, you can also like always like run your scripts. Like if you guys script out your videos, you can run it through ChatGPT and ask like, hey, are there any red flags here? But also after your videos, if you even have the slightest inkling, like the slightest thought, like could this get a violation? Probably violation. So yeah, that's the thing. But if you make a full video, you're like, this is great, there's no way it's gonna get violation, go ahead and post that. But I would just be extra careful right now. Cool. So next concept right here, proof. And this is huge, guys, because a lot of people actually don't do this. But understanding that right now, everybody has something to sell you. Okay, everybody, whether it's a product, whether it's a course, offer, mentorship, whatever it is, everybody has something to sell you, right? And so everybody has been burned before as well. I'm sure you bought a product and it was like some shitty dropship product. Maybe you bought a course, maybe you bought a program. You're like, well, this is like, right? It wasn't really worth your money. So everybody's been burned before. Now, what does it actually mean when it comes to like e-commerce, when it comes to TikTok shop? Well, they need to know that their hard-earned money isn't going to waste. How do we do that? That makes consumer trust an all-time low, okay? So the way that you bypass this though is people, guys, they don't give a shit about like what you have to say. Like you can say this is the best product in the world, but as soon as they see the orange button and creator earns commission, everything you say goes out the window in terms of like trust proof, right? Because again, they know you're just trying to get commission. There's nothing wrong with that. So how do we bypass that? Well, they have to believe what they can see with their own eyes. So whether that is you screen recording and adding an overlay of like showing a ton of 5-star reviews, so I recommend for my clients all the time. That's a huge one. You can have other people using the product. Again, I wouldn't really do videos right now, but maybe images of people like smiling with the product, or they're loving it, or they're talking about how much it changed their life. Whether it's like transformations, again, be a little bit careful with this. I wouldn't ever do like a collage post like before and after, but like if you throw up a picture of before, this is what we do with Tenzi. She throws up a picture of what her skin looked like before, and then now she has like super clear glowing skin, right? So transformations are huge because that's literally proof that it's working, okay? But basically, guys, this cuts through all the noise and gets them to believe in your product. Again, a lot of affiliates don't do this. I don't understand why, but this right here is what's gonna skyrocket your conversions. You can have a video that gets a ton of views, your conversions, like they're good, but they could be 10 times better if you just have proof. I'll give you guys an example right here, Alex Hormozi. If you guys don't listen to him, by the way, I highly recommend. He's probably like one of my top pillars. My pillars are Gary Vee, Alex Hormozi, people I wanna end up like. Smartest guy, very clear on like business, and this example right here basically talks about exactly what I'm talking about.
I said, hey, these markers smell like shit, but they write 4 times longer than other markers and they don't dry out. You're like, wow, I now believe that more than if I just said, these markers last 4 times longer than other markers before they dry out. Now watch this. Let's flip it. These markers write 4 times longer than others, but they smell like crap. What am I emphasizing? I'm actually emphasizing the fact that they smell bad, not the fact that they write longer. And so we use the first part to gain trust for the second half of the statement. Viagra only works for 4 to 6 hours, but you're gonna have the time of your life. It might raise your blood pressure, but you're gonna have an amazing night. Our websites are ugly as hell, but they convert, right? Our systems are incredibly boring, but they work. If I said our systems work, but they're incredibly boring, I'm gonna emphasize on the boring part, not on the fact that they work. By how you organize your language around words like but, which are amplifiers, it allows you to say damaging emissions in a way that's compelling. If I said, hey,
so basically, that's one of the ways to build up proof as well. You know, you talk about like what is the fault of the product, but like it's still like the best product ever. So he used that marker example to a T. What's up, Hugo?
I've watched a YouTube video for like how to storytell, I guess you could say, and I had my ChatGPT train it for that. And one of the things that I would say to keep this story engaged is but. Like always say but. Like if you say and, like that's it.
Yeah.
It's always but.
Yeah, but and because are good ones for sure.
Yeah, it's like the one thing I've taken, like stayed, and it's worked. Like,
Yeah.
Every time I go, like I'll stutter or like I'll be at but, and then it just like flows better.
Yeah, if you guys want to double your income, just watch Alex from Rosie. Genuinely.
Owen just always asking my one calls. He was like, dude, how'd you like get this marketing advice? And I would always try to explain it. And after, I just like, oh my god, Alex Mosey. I used to watch him all the time. Every single podcast he's been on, I've watched it, and that's where he marketed. He just told me that.
Yeah, we have the same exact. When you're on that same wavelength.
Alex Mosey's fucking dude.
Yeah.
Learned so much about TikTok shop. Any future business endeavor you want to get into, Alex Mosey.
Wait, so you just listen to like podcasts on Spotify?
Yeah, he has podcasts, YouTube videos.
Like at the gym.
Yeah,
That's a good idea.
That's what I used to do. That's all I did. Spotify, Alex Mosey.
Yeah.
Learned so much shit, bro.
Yeah. Whenever I do my cardio, I'm always listening to like long form stuff. Really good way. Awesome, guys. Any questions about proof? Super, super important that you include this in your videos.
Authority can also help with proof as well. Like flips right now is risky, right? You don't know if you want to put a clip in your video.
Yeah.
But that significantly helps, right? People are going to believe LeBron James are not going to believe you. So putting that in a clip, putting that in a video is super fucking important.
Yeah.
Dude, it's
way better.
I see the AI picture with the neck tech and LeBron James on. Actually,
Oh my God.
do that.
I definitely don't want to do that. That's an FTC lawsuit awaiting. But yeah.
Authority and quality and quantity. Like a quality authority is LeBron James, Alex Ramosi. Quantity is this is X many sales, this is this many reviews.
Yeah, all the reviews and stuff. That's a great point. Actually, yeah, in our course, I don't know if you guys remember, but we have authority like using podcast clips. The reason I didn't include it is because of AI. But yeah, it's a great point. Like when you include people that are loving the product, like Andrew Huberman, he like vouches for a lot of products. That's a huge authority, right? But yeah, like I said, right now, just want to be a little bit careful with that. But the point that Tate brings up.
I got one more question that just popped.
Yeah, go ahead.
When you go to like showing off reviews and different things like that, I always struggle with the editing aspect of things. Like, is there an easy way to do it, or is that just the name of the game that you have to put in time to like put the different?
One of the best ways to do it is instead of like getting each review by itself, we literally just screen record. We scroll down a little, then you crop it a little bit so you get rid of your phone and whatever, and you just plug that in.
And then people will pause and watch it, drop it to watch time.
I need to add reviews.
That's why you're here.
That's fucking perfect.
I'm gonna do
You had
it.
like overlays of reviews.
Yeah, I would just add an overlay.
Yeah, I'm
like
gonna
they
have
kind of
one.
Yeah.
small.
That's what we do all the time.
Like, I don't know why I haven't done
Like
it.
when you're be like, it's worth.
Your conversions will skyrocket, bro.
I know. I'm gonna notice. I'm gonna do it today.
Right for the CTA.
Do you just like, and if you guys don't think it's worth the like million, or like you're gonna throw up the overlay, like in your video, if you're gonna throw up an overlay of reviews, like how do you like, does that transition into like the CTA?
Yeah, we're about to transition to that right now. Yeah, that's actually the next point right here. So next point right here, the CTA, guys. Obviously, you guys, most of y'all have cracked like 10K months you've done. Like, you know the CTA is important, right? But let's talk about exactly how to structure this out. So you never ever want to forget the call to action. I don't care how good your video is. I don't care how much effort you put into the hook, story, proof. You always want a CTA. You have to understand that people, they need to be reminded and they need to be led. They have to know exactly what's the next step. You can have a great video, but if you forget this, they're just gonna keep scrolling, even if they want the product, because you didn't directly tell them, hey, tap the orange button, it's on sale, whatever, right? So do not forget to include this, okay? The worst thing that I see time and time again is you could do all of the pre-selling. This is what we call in the business world nurturing, when you nurture a client. You can do all the pre-selling. And I actually had this happen in my business where I like give someone a ton of value with my YouTube. They end up going with a different mentor because I didn't sell them, right? So same thing with your TikTok shop videos. You could be doing all of this stuff, like talking about the product, you have an incredible video, but you don't have the CTA, and then guess what? Some dumbass spamming bottom of funnel, it's on double discount, it's on double discount. He gets the sale. Exactly. He takes your commission. You did all the work, and then they just keep scrolling. They're like, oh, wait, this is the product I just saw. And he's double discount, double discount. and then he gets the sale. And so you lose out on that. So never forget the CTA, guys. All right. So yeah, guys, people need direction. You need to tell them exactly what to do. So there's different types of call to actions, you know, honestly, and it depends on the situation. There's soft CTAs. You see Beans, if you guys know Beans, top affiliate, again, another one who's done $1 million+ in profit, which is insane. But he does a lot of soft CTAs. He doesn't really care if he gets the sale. He's kind of like, I'll leave the link somewhere down here. If you see it, it might still be in stock. Super soft. It can work in certain situations. Sometimes you want to be a little bit more pushy, right? There's urgency CTAs like, hey, this keeps selling out, so make sure to grab yours while you can, right? A little bit more urgency, scarcity, whatever it is, okay? And then my personal favorite is pain-based CTAs, right? So you kind of remind them, you're tying in that hook, you're tying in everything. Hugo, we also work on this with him, but pain-based CTAs like, you know, so if you're tired of waking up in pain every day, get this, you'll thank yourself later. That I feel like is the most impactful because people hear sales all the time, they see discounts all the time, but it's not often that they get reminded like, fuck, like I'm in pain, like this could actually change my life. So that's a very powerful CTA. If you haven't used it, highly recommend use it. Any questions about call to action, guys? Hugo, and then we'll go Owen.
So honestly, for all of you guys in here, what do you guys, I feel like with products, it's I'm urgency CTAs and pain-based CTAs. I've had like my juicers, like the soft CTA, I try it, bro, and then I look at the CTR, it's just, they're not even clicking it, bro.
The reason that people are able to pull off soft CTAs is because they relate to pain and sell the benefits and the desire of the product earlier on.
Beans
And
really
that's
does
why
feel like a guy
Yeah.
you're speaking to him.
Beans,
like,
he does a soft
Yeah.
CTA because he makes a 2-minute video about.
Yeah. He did all the pre-selling already.
If they see me, it's like, bro, get this TikTok shop out of here.
That's typically more my style of why I say CTAs aren't as important as people think, because if you sell the product correctly early on in the video and relate to pain and sell the desire,
Yeah.
they just need to know where to go.
Yeah, that's why it says it can be different for every situation. If you have a long ass 2-minute video, you've already done most of the pre-selling. They already know if they want it by the end. Don't want to have a CTA, but it doesn't have to be as pushy, right? Does that answer your question?
Yeah, that's basically it.
Cool.
The soft CTAs are very weird to me, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
They don't hit for me.
in a 10-second bottom of funnel video, it's an urgency. It's a whole CTA. That's all it is a CTA because it's so short. There's no proof behind the product. But then on a longer video, you can do a soft CTA because there's so much proof and so much story behind it. That's
Cool.
how I kind of like
Yeah.
see it.
Owen, what's
So
up?
kind of like it's kind of like the more, I don't say like the longer your video is, you can do like a soft CTA versus if it's like a 30-40 second, you kind of need like a mediocre, and then if it's like 10 seconds, you need like a strong like CTA, like a rule of thumb.
Yeah, so let's use the prime example right now, bottom of funnel. Right, those are short ass videos. So what are they mainly doing? They're selling the sales. They're like straight up, double discount, 60% off, blah, 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 blah. They're selling the sale because it's so short, there's no nurturing, they're just selling the sale. So that's why they emphasize that so much. Yeah, like you said, kind of if it's like a 30-40 second clip, a little bit medium CTA, and then if you're already doing all the pre-selling like Beans, long ass video, it can be a softer CTA. Does that make sense? Cool. Matt, were you gonna say something?
What you just summarized there was exactly like a mind-blowing thought for me. I drop a lot of soft CTAs
Yeah,
in like
that-
short videos.
I
and
feel
wonder
like
why
I-
they'll convert. And it's like,
Yeah.
but then when I have longer videos, like my scam angles that are 3 minutes long, I drop the same soft CTA.
Mhm. Those convert better.
But I sold them early.
They're already pre-sold, they're nurtured.
Minute 20, they didn't even.
Now, I want to talk about one of the most common problems I face this. I'm sure Tay has, Matt as well. Why? Oh, and yeah. Why do your videos get high views but low sale? All right, so let's break this down. Most of the time, it was a messaging issue, okay? You just didn't get specific enough on your avatar, person you want to call out. Like I said, guys, when you try to speak to everyone, when you go extremely broad, you're trying to target moms, dads, fucking college people, you're not gonna actually like tap into their pain enough. This is the other benefit. When you get very specific on who you want to target, you know exactly like how to attack that in terms of like, what are their desires? What are their pains? If you're trying to target like 3 different avatars, you don't even know what pains because they all have different pains. But if you're just trying to target like Hispanic moms, what's their pain? Well, they work like long hours a day. They have pain in their legs. They probably have kids that they can't run around with because their legs are in pain, right? So when you have a specific avatar, you can tap into that messaging even more. Okay, does that make sense? Cool. Now, the other reason is you didn't get them to feel enough, okay? You didn't get them to actually care. And this is usually a case of showing off the features, right? Like I was talking about, guys, nobody cares about the features, the ingredients in your product. They care about what is this gonna do for them, how is it gonna change their life, how is it gonna take them closer to their dream outcome. So if they don't feel pain or desire, they're not gonna buy. Like they may be like, oh, this product is cool, but I don't really need it right now. And think about like this, in your own life, especially me as like a marketer, I rarely ever like get like sold, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But when I do get sold, I'm like, it's because this guy's a great marketer and he tapped into my pain. When I buy something off of impulse, which is very rare, or a course or mentorship, I never buy it because like, oh, I'm getting one-on-one calls or like I'm getting a group call, whatever, right? I buy it because they tapped into my pain. Hey, you're stuck at like these months, let's take you here. Like he showed me like the dream outcome. That's why I bought. So one of the best ways also, like little kind of like thought, is when it comes to marketing, TikTok shop, anything you do in terms of like this world, marketing, sales, like put yourself in the customer's shoes. Like what do you guys like buy on a day-to-day basis? Why did you buy? If you ever get sold, especially as you guys start to make more money, you become better marketers, it's gonna be more rare and rare to get sold. And then when you do get sold, you're like, oh, this was like a really good ad, commercial, whatever it was, okay?
Exactly. I said that. I was like, dude, this is smart as
Bro,
fuck.
dude,
This dude, we were out at the pier, and he just pulled up on us and started taking pictures. And he was like, yo, look at these pictures. And I was like, I knew instantly. I was like, holy, I'm gonna buy this. Cause that's just sick as
It's
fuck.
gas, right?
We took more pictures, and we gave him $45.
Yeah.
It's like, it's the smartest shit ever, bro. It's like,
Yeah. As you get deeper into this world, you'll understand all the tactics, which is kind of like a superpower. But yeah, cool. And then finally, maybe your product is just shit. All right. So again, like I said, guys, besides the unicorn, your just product, like it's just not gonna sell. There's gonna be certain products that like maybe they had their time, they did good, and there's gonna be some products where people are just like, dude, it looks like trash. It looks like cheap drop shipping shit, and you can make the best video ever in the entire world. You can tap into their pain, but if they don't trust the product, if they don't like the product, they're not gonna buy it. I always say you cannot polish a turd. All right. There are just certain products that won't sell no matter how good your videos are. One thing I want you guys to understand is the difference from a 10K a month person, 100K a month person is just obsession. All right. And honestly, like this is probably gonna be like the deepest slide, but like you have to understand what you want out of life. Like there's nothing wrong with making like 10K months and, you know, just getting by, being able to like, you know, travel, I guess. But if you really want to take it to that next level and like what I want out of life, like I'm sure you guys know, like I have high standards for myself, my girl, my family. Like this is where I want to live one day. I'm not there yet, but I'm like working my ass off, obsessed to get here one day, right? And so obsession is everything, guys. It is so important that you get tunnel vision on whatever the fuck it is you decide to do in life, okay? The times in my life where I've made like the biggest mistakes or I've caused the most turmoil or chaos, it's because my attention was split between a million different things. I was talking about this with Tay. He asked me like, what did I do before this? And so dude, I literally named off like 5 different things, you know, the influencer shit, drop shipping, like acting, like all this different stuff. And so it's like you have your toes in the water right here, you're over here trying to grab something else, you're over here reaching, like you're all like split, you're wobbly, right? That's like the best example I can give you when you have all these different things. So get very tunnel vision on like one thing, right? On what you want to do. Get obsessed with that. All right. Get obsessed with analyzing like which of your videos work. Like to relate this into TikTok shop, like understand your analytics, what sold, what didn't sell. Okay. What should you be doubling down on? What shouldn't you? Study the top creators, the top affiliates. When I was doing primarily TikTok shop affiliate, every single day I was on Calidata for hours researching products, videos, like understanding like, oh, this creator's killing it with this. I want to like learn why they killed it with this. Learning every single day about marketing, about sales. Now that I'm more like tapped into the business world, like obviously building the coaching program, like every day I like live and breathe that shit. Like Destiny knows 10 to 12 hour days every day. I'm obsessed with like getting better, client fulfillment, marketing, learning ads, all that shit, right? But whatever it is you do, guys, just understand if it's the only thing that you care about, you're just going to be so much more likely to succeed. And I'm sure Tay can attest that, Matt can attest that. When you just get very obsessed with one thing, that's how you succeed. And then just finish everything off for this. We're just going to go ahead and show this.
If my mental health was a priority, I wouldn't be as successful as I am. I mean, that's just like a sad fact. There's a reason no one makes videos like me. Like, not even close, because no one wants to live the life I live. That's something I always tell myself is, how you feel right now is why no one else does what you want to do, or does what you do. And if you push through this, that's just even, you know, more of a reason why no one will ever be who you are.
This clip reminds me of something that I wrote that's pretty meaningful to me. Whenever I get to a low point where I think, why do I even bother? I just try to remind myself, this is where most people stop. This is why they don't learn.
If my mental
Yeah,
health was a
so-
priority, I wouldn't be as successful.
I mean, you look at someone like Mr. Beast, you look at someone like Elon Musk, Alex Hormozy, they are obsessed, like they're killers. And so that's another thing I want to touch on real quick is, guys, like the way I think about it is like, some people may think it's obsessive, it's a little bit psychotic, but basically every other affiliate, every other person, they're just trying to take food off your table. Like I have a family now, I want to have kids, right? And so it's like, if someone else is outworking me, outpacing me, they're caring more about their business, like that's taking away food from my future children. That's taking away the houses I want to live in one day. And like, I'm not going to let anyone fucking outwork me. Like nobody will. And so that's the mindset you need to have if you really want to go from like 10K months to 50K months, 100K months, getting obsessive, getting hyper competitive. And that's why Mr. B says like, hey, you know, there's days I feel like shit. There's days I don't feel like doing this where my mental health suffers greatly, but that's the reason he's successful, because 99% of people, when they're going through that shit, they're going to give up. People like Mr. Beast, Alex, Elon Musk, they don't care. They just keep going.
That was fucking great.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Honestly, I'm curious, like, what's your guys', because that's how I'm feeling right now, is like, this like repetitive mindset is straight there, and it feels like low, but like, this is obviously the outcome of what we're doing, but like, how do you guys keep, like, just take trips? Is that, because like right now, me taking a trip, I feel better. Like,
You feel better, yeah.
Yeah, money, I mean, not necessarily.
No, really, that's what I'm asking. I'm asking you, especially because we just started cooking. I ain't gonna lie, it's more directed towards that.
Yeah, no, man, for sure. So, I mean, there's different things, like, obviously everybody has like different things that make them happy, like whether it's going to the gym, whether it's spending time with their family, you know, maybe like winding down, whatever it is, it's gonna be different for every person. But one thing I will say is like, you're gonna have times in life where you're at extremely highs and at extremely low. And the most important thing is you just keep going no matter what. That's why even if I'm coming off a crazy month, like I don't care. I treat every single day like like it's a new day. If I'm coming off like a terrible day, I don't care. I'm still doing the same thing every single day. So I would say that's my best advice. Just have the same inputs every single day. You know, eventually you're gonna get back to that baseline. Like if you're having a low day or you're feeling depressed, right? You're gonna get back to that baseline and eventually you're gonna have that high where you're like, I'm on top of the fucking world, which is like right now how I'm feeling, right? But there's gonna be days where I'm like, dude, yeah, exactly.
What about you, Tay? Like, how do you say about that? Like,
One thing I'll say, and when I wanted to touch on that mindset was when I do my presentation, but is like if you ever have doubt in yourself, I'm sure you probably deal with that stuff. Yeah. Low days, right? When you have doubt in yourself, it's typically just because you're not working as hard as you know that you possibly could. Because if you know you're gonna get X outcome, right? Like you know for a fact you're gonna get 30K a month, you can't get mad at yourself or you won't doubt yourself if you know you're doing everything else that the next guy's doing and more. You know you're doing everything possible. You know that you're sleeping however many hours and you're working the rest. It's like you can't possibly doubt yourself because you know you're doing everything you could possibly do. But when you're out watching a fucking movie in the movie theater, you're like,
I got so much shit to do.
That's when that shit hits, right? That's when you're like, fuck, like I don't know if I can do this because you know that there's somebody else out there doing what you should do.
what about you, Matt, with live streaming? Because that's kind of why I was live streaming a lot, bro. But it was just not hitting. I steered into videos. Like after videos hit, I was like, fuck live streaming.
Yeah, similar to what Sebastian said, I try to focus on just my inputs.
Because in the live streams, when I would focus on it, I would say this person. I wouldn't really look at the username, but like I would think of my avatar, how you would say. I really didn't, like now that you mention it, I'm gonna really dial in my avatar, I guess you could say. And is that what you were like really focused, like, all right, this is my person, and then you were just talking to that person?
Yeah, pretty much. I wasn't like too focused. Are you saying like the specific
The sales
person
too, yeah, like the sales, like how, because when the sales would hit or like it would be one stream, bro, fat. Next stream, like what happened? Like how did that, where'd it go? Like I don't get it.
Yeah, I want to elaborate a lot more on that on the live stream like thing, but like I try to have my script as dialed in as possible as to what's going to be most optimized to sell.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
And then I just bring the most amount of energy, and my input that I focus on is length of time and keep going at it and bring the most amount of energy during my thing. So I think just realizing that all you can control is your inputs is super important, and it resets either every live or every day or whatever metric is that you look at. And the other thing that you kind of mentioned was that my wife knows that I go to 4 events a year. Every quarter I need to reset because I get lit up being around like other guys that are killing it and whatnot. Like it's like on my calendar every single quarter on the first of each quarter that I need to find some type of event to go to get inspired and learn something new. And like this is that reset for me from a video.
That's what that's basically my question. That's like literally you guys answered that.
And yeah, I want to touch on both those things because Tay brings up a great point. Yeah, guys, like the main reason, at least for me, and like Tay just said, that you feel anxiety, doubts is because you know you're leaving shit on the table. You know that you ended the day, maybe you didn't work out, maybe you didn't post the videos you knew you could, maybe you just didn't put in the effort you knew you could, maybe you did post the videos, they just weren't the best, and you know deep down, I didn't put in my best foot forward. And so that's when you get the insecurities, that's when the doubts start creeping in. There's never been a day where I give it my all. I wake up early, I hit the gym, I grind a YouTube video, I take sales calls, all this different shit, I take care of clients. If I do everything and I give my maximum effort, I don't feel doubt, I don't feel insecurity. I'm like, I killed it today, right? Exactly, you're just tired.
Your laptop you're ready 10 minutes later.
You're ready to slump, right?
I need to do what he's doing. That's what we're gonna have to do another trip. So I'm telling you.
Hell yeah, man.
That's how I really regained.
Yeah. And then on Matt's point, inputs. Yeah, that's really all that matters. Like at the point I'm at, and a lot of people will be like, "That's weird. That's obsessive." Like I just don't care about my feelings. Like, I don't. I just detach from that. I'm gonna have highs. I'm gonna have lows. Who gives a shit? I'm putting in the inputs every single day. It's huge, and it's how all the top guys like keep doing it every single day. And it's also like to tie that in. If someone told you on your 1000th video you're gonna make 100K profit from that single video, how fast would you get there? How many videos would you be posting every single day? Exactly. So just think about that. You know, Owen, what's up, bro?
I actually got 2 questions.
Yeah.
One question. So I know you guys, you know, have like mentorships now and stuff like that, but when you were like deep into affiliate, like, I know I used to do a lot of like product research, and I was, you know, I told me to like stop. I don't know if I was like, you know, I don't know, but like when you were deep in affiliate, like did you like do videos and then just like hours of like how was your day, like what was your routine like? Because you like, I want to make sure I'm doing like the right stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be doing too much product research, but I also like, obviously I want to post, like obviously,
like
cool.
What's your second question? Because I can pull something up for that.
Second question, so it's still related. I don't know if you have, Matt, I don't know if you have like a cool car, but for Sebastian and Tate, or you guys both have like Corvettes. Does that like, when you buy a car like that, does it like automatically like you just start like going harder? Like
He's saying you have bigger balls. That's what he's saying.
So that's a great question. So yeah, some bigger huevos. Yeah, so thing is, yes, when you have more on the line, like so for me now, my mom is retired, my girl doesn't work, that's like a fucking driver. If I don't work, then my mom's not gonna be retired, she's gonna have to go back to work, right? And so yeah, like as you start adding things, you become more successful and like you get the car, maybe you live like in a better house, maybe you start taking care of more people, that is a huge driver. That's like, for me, like one of my main pillars is family, right? So yeah, as you start to get these things, it drives you, right? And like for me, like I know I'm never gonna get to like below a certain baseline in terms of income.
The best feeling.
Yeah, that's the best feeling. Like I haven't been under 10K a month for like a year, right? So you get to the point where it's like a certain baseline, whatever that is right now, like it's gonna keep going up. That's a great question. Okay, cool. So to answer your other question, Owen, so there's actually a slide I made for six-figure affiliate. I just thought I'd fit into this perfectly. So yeah, man, pretty much this isn't like complicated. You're not building a 50-step funnel, running 10-person sales team or burning hours shipping out orders. Your job every day is pretty simple. You're just creating content. I get the eyeballs and those eyeballs to buy, like we talked about throughout this entire presentation. So how do you actually structure your day? This is what I do. This is what I was taught by a mentor and I live by it, breathe it. I do every single day. So in the morning is when I really like to market, okay? This is the time of the day where you're typically sharpest. Like right now, I feel like I'm great. I'm buzzing, got caffeine, nicotine in me. I'm feeling great, right? I'm sharpest. So take advantage of that and create content, right? Whether that is batch filming your 10 videos, whatever you're gonna be posting. And yeah, I would just batch film in the morning, okay? Because you get that out of the way. One thing as well, when you're making your videos, especially if you're batch filming, is don't focus on editing. Like just focus on the filming portion and then you can worry about the editing. Because yeah, you don't wanna like divert your attention. It wastes time and shifts your focus. And when you're in that flow state, you guys are gonna get into that flow state. I'm sure you guys have all been there. It's like you just wanna keep filming and filming. Like you don't have time to edit. So batch filming in the morning, marketing, that's when I like to do that. Daytime is kind of when I like to like research, level up. So pretty much where you sharpen your edge and stay ahead. Whether that is studying viral TikTok shop videos on TikTok, on Calidata, on the daily virals, researching new products, doing research with other affiliates, other competitors. This is where you would be ordering new samples, studying top creators, their styles, their hooks, their captions, their editing, take notes on what's working, hook structures, pacing, product angle, and also save inspiration videos because that's always gonna be super helpful in creating your videos. And at nighttime, this is probably one of the most important things because this is really where I like to just reflect, refine, right? So you can also collect data here, like which of your videos are selling, which flopped. This is where you're gonna want to see what to double down on, what to cut out, write scripts or bullet points for like what you're gonna do tomorrow. So every night I like to pretty much be like, okay, this is the agenda. We got the mastermind today, gotta get the catering, blah, 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 whatever. Like I like to have an agenda for each day. And I like to do that at night. So I'm not doing that in the morning, day up. Learning, also huge for building. So like I said, guys, I'm always watching Hormozy, investing into mentorships. So whether that's like watching a course, watching a YouTube video, watching a podcast, I'm always trying to learn. Never have the ego where you think like you're above certain things. Like even if someone makes less money than me, there's always something I can learn from somebody. It doesn't matter if they're even like a homeless person. There's always something you can take from someone. So never have that ego. Always be willing to understand, learn, and try to grow, okay? Something else that's huge is writing down your goals. I'm really glad you asked this, actually, Owen. But yeah, writing down your goals. I have a journal and pretty much every single night I like to write down exactly what I want out of life. You know, for my next car, I want the Huracan. For my next home, I want the Hollywood Hills homes. And I get very specific on that. The way I write down my goals as well, it's not like I want these things. It's kind of like I already have them. Like I have the Huracan, I have the Hollywood Hills home, I have these different things. So that's where I get very specific. I got you in a sec, Hugo. And yeah, pretty much that just helps like actually like ground you and help you understand like exactly what you need to do day to day to get to that goal. Like I said as well, set up your next day to be locked in. And then final thing I want to mention as well is like, I don't want to make this like a whole religious thing, but I used to be atheist for a very long time, from like 12 to 22. And as soon as I was at that low point and I lost everything, and I like broke down in my car crying in North Hollywood because I was on food stamps and I didn't have anything. And I pretty much just told God, like, if you help me, break through this and just change my life, like I will fully submit myself to you. I will give everything to you. And yeah, he did. And yeah, so just want to mention that as well. Sorry, I didn't mean it. I didn't think that'd get me emotional, but.
I love it, bro. No, we can relate because I was there too. Like, I was literally there too. I was gonna go join the army, but I ain't even joking. I was there. And then when they say it's like you're shaving your head off, you're doing all this, like, bro, it's crazy. It's hard.
Yeah, man. So big believer in God and obviously like writing down what you want out of life. So yeah, didn't mean to get emotional there, boys, but yeah. Cool. Does that answer your question, Owen? Cool. What's up, Tay?
I have a question. So I know what I do. I journal every single day, never miss it. And I know the way that I do it. I write, I am grateful for X, Y, and Z thing, which is a goal, and I act as if I already have it, right? So same thing there. I have a question for you because I know what I do and my routine is, but do you put a timeline on your goals? Do you say X, Y, and Z in 3 months?
So yeah.
I know that
I mean, I would say like the more specific you can get, it's gonna help you out. But also, you don't want to like set like unrealistic timelines. Like, oh, I want the penthouse Lambo like in 3 months, right? So be like kind of mindful of that. But I do recommend having timelines. Because yeah, otherwise then it's gonna be like, well, what if I get in 5 years? I mean, even if you do get in 5 years, 10 years, that's fine because you still got the goal. But I like to like set timelines for when I want things. That's just my mindset on it.
Yeah, the only goals I'll give a timeline to is if it's 6 months plus, because you know I don't want to be rushed, and like I feel like that takes away from focusing on inputs. It's like, okay, like, oh my god, I need to get it in a week. I said it in a week, and then once it's over that time, it's like, well, fuck, what do you do now? So
Yeah.
That's kind of why anything too soon, I like to leave it open and not do it. But that's my kind of
Yeah.
thoughts behind it.
Yeah, and that's why I say like the inputs are the most important thing. Like as long as you're putting in those inputs every single day that are going to take you to your goals, you're going to reach that goal no matter what. It's just the inputs though. Yeah, here goes.
So I have a question about journaling and all that, bro, because I've never done it. I'm gonna be honest with you guys.
So important.
Yeah, so I'm kind of realizing that, but
Yeah.
it's the way that you. Not like that, not like a dickhead, but like it's the way you're writing it is more like, because when you talk about journal, bro, oh, thank you for my family, or thank you, like,
Yeah, it's not. You're not writing it. Well, you can.
when you just said it like that, it kind of just makes, so like you guys, is for example me, like something that would be in my journal, like I just want to be fit. So for example, right now it's like I'm doing 10K steps today, or I'm doing this. Like my goal would be like 10K steps. It would be go eat healthy early breakfast, because then it would be like the long-term goal. So like, that's how you're journaling, right? Like, or something like that. You get what I'm saying? Like, target the goal. Like I'm just saying health because that's like the easiest.
An example, yeah.
Yeah, but just in general, like you'll be like, okay, 10K steps, like that's the goal. Or let's just say, for example, TikTok shop. Right now, I'm hitting 10K months. My goal is to do 20. So the way I would get there, for example, would be, like you said, batch film 10 videos. Now it's gonna be, are we gonna batch film 15? You get what I'm saying? Like,
So, yeah, the way that I do it is so. You want to hit 20K months. I am grateful of that. I am grateful that I'm hitting consistent 20K months by the end of the year. Or I am grateful that I'm hitting consistent 20K months. That's how I do it. Because then that just it gets me on the. I do it in the morning right when I wake up. This is the first thing I do. I pray and then I journal.
that's how I got to this 10K. I'm not gonna lie, without journaling. I wasn't writing. I was literally like mentally like, I'm already here. I'm mentally here.
Yeah.
You just send those slides.
It reinforces like like the obsession part of it is like, okay, every single day I wake up and I know exactly what I want to do in the long run, and like I don't write down my inputs because I know I'm gonna do that, and that's why I'm writing down my goals, because it reinforces the fact that I know I will do it.
Okay,
so that's
makes
what I do.
sense.
Like I am grateful. The way I do it, this might be like a little too much, but I am grateful for X, Y, and Z amount of dollars in my bank account, or X, Y, and Z amount of dollars in Bitcoin, right? That's how I do it, and then I just do the work and fill that gap.
Yeah. Specificity is key, bro, for sure.
No, okay, I got an idea then.
I'm gonna get into it.
I'm gonna go
Yeah.
film then.
Yeah, dude, absolutely, man.
Dude, I used to write. I wrote my first journal. I'm so glad I did that shit, and I'll talk about documenting your journey a little bit. But yeah, I know I don't like that. But I am grateful for my first 50,000 view video. Like I go look at that, and I'm just like, Jesus Christ, like that's insane. I average hundreds of thousands of views a day, and it's like having that shit is like, it's so important. I reinforce that goal every single day, and that's why I was able to hit it and surpass it.
Yeah.
Damn. I mean, yeah.
It's huge, bro.
I need to write it because, like you said, the 50K views, dude. It's like, dude.
Yeah, best example I'll give you, bro, is like if you don't have direction, you don't know where you're going. So like if you're driving from East Coast, where we're from, South Carolina, to here, LA, and you're trying to get there without a map, and you're just looking at like the highway, that would take you forever, and you would like be rerouted so many times. You spend so much time. If you have a GPS, right, you're getting very specific. You're gonna get there so much faster. So yeah, journaling at first may seem a little bit silly. It's like, oh, girls have a diary or whatever.
The reason why I'm asking is the way you're
under my
the way you're
Yeah, you're hiding and shit.
It's like, dude, it's like you said, it's like, dude, if you want to get to Illinois, where I'm from here, it's like you just look up how to get there and you try and drive there. Like, it's like, that's a good analogy for journaling. It's like, if you're not journaling, it's like, okay, yeah, I want to get there, and then if you turn off the GPS,
I'm glad you said that
Yeah.
analogy. I'm gonna use that because I guess right now I'm just like.
If you write it down every single day, it's like having
There's
GPS
layers
on you 24/7.
There's layers to it too. Like you said that you hit your 10K month from like thinking it
Mentally,
and saying
straight
stuff.
mentally
Like there's
reinforced it.
science and studies out there that show that every level of like doing something tangible increases that level. So like there's one like meditation and thinking or praying on it, and then there's the next level of like writing it down physically on paper.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be better than typing it up.
Yeah, that's the other thing, guys. Like, I'm glad you touched on that. Yeah, that's the thing, like writing it down, I don't know what the science is behind it, but instead of putting my goals down in my phone, like on my notes, I like to write it down. There's something to it, like the grounding maybe, but it just makes it seem so much more real.
I do both. I'll touch on that when I talk about it.
Do you wake up in the middle of the night, guys? Sometimes just like out of like just straight boom, like a thought or like a like a TikTok shop. Does that happen to you?
Yeah, all the time.
Alright.
Yeah, every night. Welcome to business.
Now, in the beginning, the first slide about like obsession, like other people are gonna be like, this is bad or this is weird. Like I've had like my mom's like, I just don't want you to get too obsessed. Like you don't lose your life or like be 30 or like nothing working out. And I'm like, geez, like bro, like the way she puts those thoughts in my head, I'm like, geez, that's scary. But it's like the steps that we're doing. It's not like we're just saying we're gonna do it. Like we're literally doing it.
Yeah.
Putting the videos, reinforcement stuff.
And I'm actually dropping a YouTube video on this soon, but I say never talk about your goals to anybody that's not like extremely aligned with them. You know?
Yeah.
If I told
Like everybody here, we're aligned.
Yeah, if I told you my goals, would be like, okay, yeah, like I totally fucking see that. But like I didn't even tell my mom until I made like, you know, pretty significant amount of money, and I was like, yo, like, you know, I'm going to have to pay taxes. That was the first time I told my family about what I was doing. Other than that, I was like, yeah, I'm just chilling in my room because I knew that what they were gonna say was only gonna take me further away from my goal and try and knock it off my path. And once you get results, it just continues to reinforce your belief further and further along. Like, okay, I know I'm doing the right things regardless of what outside people throw.
Yeah, dude. And it's like everybody has like different things that they want out of their life. Obviously, you know what you want, and your mom probably just wants different things. She just wants to like, you know, chill with the family and everything.
If anything I'm getting out is a journal, avatar, and obsession.
Yeah, don't take advice from anybody that hasn't done exactly what it is you want to do. So that's
Cool,
smart.
cool. I don't want to take up too much time. We'll let Tay go. Sorry if I went a little over, bro. Yeah, go ahead, Matt.
All right, guys, so as Sebastian said, I'm going over TikTok lives. That's how I got my start. I'm gonna give a little background about who I am and why I'm a little bit of an expert on this. So my background is, I'm a lot older than a lot of people here. I'm turning 39 in about a month and a half. So I'm an OG, you can call me Uncle Matt if you want. And my background is I started flipping houses right after college. I did that for a while and I got tired of being on the job site. I had a friend that started making money online and I wanted to be able to make money from my laptop anywhere that had Wi-Fi. So I started following his journey. I got into affiliate marketing with doing crypto mining back in 2021 and doing well with that with my YouTube channel. Crypto died and I didn't know what to do. So I called my buddy who was crushing it with ClickFunnels affiliate marketing as well as like Grant Cardone 10X program. I started working behind the scenes with him. So I learned a boatload of information about affiliate marketing from him, worked with him for about 2.5 years and I decided I wanted to do my own thing. So I quit working with him in December of 2023 and I went on like a month journey trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And I was just scrolling on all the social medias and I saw a bunch of young guys like you flashing Lamborghinis, Corvettes, houses in the hills. And I was like, are these kids really doing that? I sent a bunch of guys messages being 37, 38 at the time. I'm sending 17 to 24-year-old guys messages and they're all like sending me screenshots of bank accounts. Like, yes, this is the real deal. And I was like, okay, I'm in. So I started in February of 2024 and I didn't know what I was doing. I was just trying to do what all the young kids were doing. I'm doing supplements and I don't know any rules. So I'm talking on my lives about this is going to make you lose weight. And I'm saying, and back then, I'll tell you in a second, I don't know who's gone live or hasn't gone live. We didn't have a dashboard. So like my phone's facing me. I don't see the screen. I'm talking to just blank air. I don't know that I'm getting violations left and right. So I'm talking, I'm like, this shit, you want to look fit? Like you're definitely going to lose weight. Like you're going to go from 180 pounds to 150 pounds, maybe in a month. And yeah, so needless to say, I got a lot of violations and it took me a little bit of time to figure out how to avoid violations and what rules were and whatnot. So it took me about a month with testing supplements and then I quickly moved on to walking pad treadmills. So I ordered a walking pad treadmill. I set a goal. My first month I was trying to like hit metrics like sales wise. I wanted to hit 10K a month. I reset my goals to be input based and I was like, I'm gonna go live for 60 minutes a day and I'm gonna do one video a day. Those were things that I knew that I could achieve, that I could hit every single day. And I started that on March 1st and that first week of going live, none of my videos took off, by the way, first off. So we'll put that to the side. My videos did not take off, but my first live, I was having fun with it. I was getting steps in and I was also like interacting with people. So there was some feedback from people in the comments. And then by like live number 3, I made my first like $15. Then live number 4, I made $25. Live number 5, I hit like 40 bucks. And it just kept going. By the end of the month, my money that I made in March of 2024 was around $14,000 I made that month. So it kind of accelerated really, really quickly. I hit my stride and I just kept going with it. Yep, hit my first 10K in less than 60 days. And then since then, I've had over $1 million GMV in just over a year on lives alone with burnt accounts and like lost violated accounts. I don't know what my exact numbers are because we don't have that data, but I would guess it's probably 1.6, 1.8, somewhere around there with videos as well as live.
I have a question.
What's up?
Since you did like online money stuff like before you got in the shop, like, and you made 10K in 160 days, like, was that like like insane to you, or had you kind of like had like that kind of success with like prior business models?
Definitely had that kind of success similarly, but it took a lot more work. Like this was a new thing, and it was like mind-blowing to me a bit because of, and I'll get into it in a second exactly why it was mind-blowing to me, because I grew up watching QVC and the home shopping network. Like I would watch it every single day after dinner, and like it was always on. So like it related to me so much, and I was like, this is easy. Like I'm literally just talking and making money every minute that somebody comes in my room. So it was easier than like how I made money online. We did a lot of sales calls, and we did a lot of like long form YouTube videos that took a lot of editing and scripting and stuff like that. So this was by far the easiest way that I ever found. And then just to give a little context, I'm not a supercar guy, I'm not a Corvette guy, but it certainly has changed my life in more of a lifestyle way. With me being a little bit older, I'm less concerned about a lot of the flashy things, and I was able to buy my now wife her dream engagement ring. We paid for a 2-week vacation where I gave her the dream proposal. In 4.5 months after that, I didn't realize she wanted to get married that fast because her dad gets sick every single winter. He has some health issues. That was a surprise to me that she wanted to get married in 4.5 months. So we were quickly able to pay for a $75,000 wedding on a beach mansion in North Carolina.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
That's better than the flash.
Yeah.
That's gold.
As you keep getting older, you're gonna see that like those things are definitely nice, and I definitely have a desire to get those things. But there's other things that make more of a lasting like memory and impact. So that's pictures from the wedding, the house that we rented right on the beach. We had 50 of our closest family members and friends that flew down to North Carolina. Nobody was from North Carolina. It was pretty cool. We quickly got 120 grand in the bank for an emergency account. And then I bought my condo super cheap years ago. We were living in it. It was $600 a month. That's unheard of. It was a really nice place too, but we just upgraded. We put a tenant in there. We moved to a $6,000 a month apartment that has all kinds of awesome amenities. So TikTok Shop has done all this for us, and it's been really, really impactful for us.
What year did you guys get married?
Last October. So less than a year ago.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Damn, right now, that's gonna be goals. I'm kind of jealous, bro. Got a wife and shit. Nice.
Yeah. Right? You gotta make sure that she does TikTok Shop though. My wife, she works in medicine, so she does heart and lung transplant. I was just telling you, Tay, and she works with surgeons and doctors and everything, and she can't believe this. She's like, you're outperforming like the surgeons and some of the doctors and stuff. Like, how is this possible? We're saving lives, and you're over here talking about Sheila G or walking pad treadmills and being, you know, like yeah. So basics, you guys are all fairly familiar with TikTok Shop and whatnot. I know you just kind of got started, but you've gone through a lot of the coursework and whatnot. So you have a very strong baseline of information. These are a lot of bullet points as to the basics around TikTok Shop. What I love about it most is that it's like your own QVC style show or home shopping network show where you're the personality, you're able to like interact, you're the authority, like automatically because someone's scrolling and watching you, they think that you're the expert on whatever it is that you're talking about. It gives you real-time interaction with your viewers. They're able to comment and ask questions. When I first got started with it, I had no idea what to say, what to script, what to anything. I was just walking and kind of trying to figure it out. My audience helped me out by asking the questions that they had, and then I knew based on those questions what I needed to have in my script. So they were concerned about walking pad treadmill, once again, was the first thing that I ever did. They were concerned about the speed, how heavy it was, where do you store it? So that quickly became a part of my script. When I didn't know what a script was, they helped me figure out what it was, and it's because you're live. I guess you can do it with videos, with comments and whatnot, but it was a lot easier to figure it out when it was in real time. Just like videos, they can buy it directly on the screen, unlike a QVC in the home shopping network. It's the same thing. There's a banner at the bottom of the screen. You guys have all seen it. Yeah, super easy. And then because they're speaking to you in real time and it's live, it like is more trustworthy than when you're doing videos. Like they're able to actually like see you live. It's not an edited video or anything like that. They're able to see you in real time, talk to you, answer their direct questions. And because of that, data says that there's higher conversions on lives than regular videos. TikTok also likes live videos. I don't know how official that data is. I've seen it from somebody somewhere that it's a $1 billion industry in China right now on their platform, and they're trying to do that as well in the USA. And then you get tools that you don't get on videos with lives. You get flash sales that are given to you by the brands, which are lower prices than you would get on the videos. You get countdown timers that create urgency. So as that timer's winding down, they're more inclined to buy. And then you also get push alerts there. So I also have fun with going live because you can see on the dashboard the sales coming in, and that gets the adrenaline going, and it's like just fun. There's dopamine hits every couple couple minutes and it like keeps you going. So those are the basics as to why I love going live. And then I'm gonna go, a lot of this was covered by Tay and Sebastian, but I'm gonna just give my little touch on this stuff. So I'm gonna go through like from start to finish what my whole philosophy, what my thought process, and then my strategy is with going live. And then tomorrow I plan on doing a live in front of you guys so you guys can see how that's implemented in like real time. So one of the most important things, like both of you guys touched on, is mindset. So before you go live, I'm gonna start on the bottom one there, that your energy is the most important. You have to be prepared to go live, because just like videos, even more so, people can see your energy through the live immediately. And if you don't show high energy, they're gonna keep scrolling, and it's an attention game. So if they're not on your video, they're not intrigued by your live, they're gonna keep scrolling. You wanna try to capture their attention. So your energy needs to set the tone and bring the hype. A lot of people, they stopped doing it. I forget who tried it, and they said that they didn't get many viewers, and they just said, screw it.
I feel like a lot of us.
Yeah.
I was cooking and then boom, just surprise, it's gone. Like literally woke up the next day, it was gone.
Yeah, so that's gonna happen. There's like ebbs and flows. To me, it's no different than videos, where like you can post 30 videos and maybe 1 or 2 of them might really take off, but 28 of them might be duds. It's not too much different with lives, where you might have a couple days of downward trends, but overall, if you keep going at it, you're gonna be up. So I wrote, don't stress the viewer count, treat every person like they're gold. And then my example, I don't know if you guys experienced this, but when I was younger, there was a lot of door-to-door sales. Did you guys experience door-to-door sales a lot? Okay, so like if you're going door-to-door sales, you're exchanging time for money, hopefully, and like the conversion rates are super low. So like if you speak to one person in an hour, you're lucky that they answered the door. This is like, we get pissed off when there's only 3 people in our room, but like if you were doing it in real life, you'd be happy if like 3 people were in there every single minute. So it's like just a simple mindset switch that I had to do. And then I'm gonna play this video. I love this. It's by Gary Vee.
Will you go live with me so we can make this come around full circle?
Have you guys seen this?
Right now? Sure.
So you set up and get your shit together there. You're good. You tell me when yours is really ready and enough people are on.
A few moments later.
Thanks, bro.
Are we live?
We're going now.
Bro, you know it takes a second for everyone to come. Keep it live. I'll be there in 2 seconds.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
You ready now? Good. I know how to turn it around. All right, we're here fucking on live. Here he is. He asked, here's fucking Brisbane. Sorry, man. These 3 people on here. No, that's good. 3 is better than 0. Let me finish my point. These 3 people on here always understand this moment. Those 3 people are the single most important 3 people. Right? Notice how when I was trying to say something, when I said 3, the laugh came, because we get it, I get it. But the reason I stand here today with more than 3 people is because of my original 3 people.
I don't give a fuck about the numbers, man.
Right?
I don't care about the numbers, man.
You fucking care about those 3 people more than anything, and they'll be 13, and they'll be 33, and they'll be that. Love you, bro. Bye, everyone.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah, so I saw that, like, that helped with my philosophy of going live every single day and bringing the most amount of energy no matter who was in the room and not quitting. Who knows what would have happened if I didn't pick up traction after the first like week. Maybe after 30 days I might have quit, but his philosophy on that was true, right? I did have 3 people in the room that first day, then I had 8 people, then 13, then before you know it, I had 1,000 people in the room and I was making $1,000 days. So that resonated with me and really spoke to me, and then I lived it and it held true for me. So I thought that was a powerful video there. And then along with, I said this to a few people earlier, a lot of people cut it short. They want to just pop on and hopefully they get that instant dopamine hit, and it doesn't always happen. I've found that sometimes my room fills up in 15 minutes, sometimes it takes 45 minutes, and that I commit to that minimum amount of time. Once again, going back to that input situation where I commit to an hour, no matter if I make 0 sales or if I make $1,000, and I'm just gonna keep doing that. So just know that TikTok sometimes needs time to warm up, and it's always not gonna fill up your room right away.
I actually got a question.
Yep.
So I've heard people, I don't know if TikTok still does this in my eyes, but like when I used to do lives, it would tell you like 90 minutes, it'd be like, great job, you hit 90 minutes. I've heard like speculation on TikTok, like you need to hit that 90 minutes because then TikTok, or else you like, the viewers like don't get as good as last time. I don't know, like is it like an hour and a half or like an hour? I've even heard some people say like 10 minutes. I don't
Yeah,
So
my philosophy on that is that nobody knows. I know what things are from my experience. We definitely get notifications after that 90-minute mark. I don't ever see like a huge spike in traffic once I get that notification. I think they're trying to just incentivize you internally to like keep going, like say good job, pat on the back, keep going. I don't believe that anybody knows what's going on, and my thought process on that is that if people knew, that TikTok wouldn't have like their IP and like all their private information. I think that everybody speculates and no one really knows until you test it all yourself. So I really don't have many data points as far as sometimes 10 minutes, sometimes it's like 75 minutes until I see my spike. But the one thing that I do know is that I stay consistent for 30 days, 45 days, 6 months, that I'm gonna make money. And so one thing, script, this is not much different than like videos and whatnot when you're formulating it. One thing that I do for my script is that I study a lot. Who's that influencer that says, I study, bro? Luke Belmar. That's what just popped in my head when I said that. I study, bro. But I had the Johnny Walker, and then I scroll and I study, bro. But seriously, I do study. So it's super easy. I don't know if you guys are familiar. If you hit the search bar in the top right-hand corner, you type in whatever product is that you're gonna search. There's a live button, and it will show every single person that's going live on that product at that time, or other similar products. So go ahead.
Hold on, say that again for me.
So yeah, I don't have my phone, but if you go to your homepage and you hit the search button in the top right, and you type in, say, Yerba Magic is what I go live with. I type that in. It's gonna say like videos, lives, shop. Yeah. So you hit lives, and it's gonna show you whoever's going live with that product or similar products to it. So I just study those, and there's like data points out there if you're in the discords for these different brands. Not all brands have those Discord channels, but a lot of them do. And I find who those top creators are. I make sure that I follow them, and I'm just listening to their script. And why I'm listening to them, I'm not going bar for bar with them, is because how I say one thing isn't how you say something. It's not gonna be smooth for you or you. Everybody's got their little bit of way that they sound better. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, so like, in your opinion, what do you think is, because I see some creators that go live with the same product. Some have like 700 viewers, some have like 12, and they've been live for the same amount of time. What would you say is like the biggest difference in like those top live streamers and the people that just don't get any views?
Yeah, right off the rip, I'd say probably consistency. I would say that the people that have huge rooms probably have been going at it for a while. Outside of that, could be product selection. It could be, for whatever reason, TikTok just not picking it up for that person. And I wouldn't test it for much longer than probably a week or two. If you're flopping, I'd switch and pivot products. I don't have an opinion too strongly on it. I just think that it's time consistency. Like, who's the gentleman we were talking? Bennett, he goes live for like 7 hours a day, and TikTok knows to push his videos out to everybody. And he's been doing it for who knows how long. Maybe a year, maybe longer, and they reward him. I think that would happen if anybody did it for that long. Yeah.
That makes sense.
So I have a question. Since I was doing the leg massagers, like I'm telling you, it's the only thing I've gone live with. Is it like, should I just set a mind, rip it for 60 days, live every day, like 2 hours, or not 2 hours, but like an hour at most I could really do. Just test it. Like, is that how you do it? Like
that's what I was doing, especially with the walking pad treadmill. And for you, it could be like you're getting a nice massage for an hour. Like, but yeah, I'll get into this like same thing that these guys were saying. A lot of it's like problem solution based, and I'm not too familiar with the leg massagers and the problems that it solves. But is that problem large enough that people are watching it live type thing?
I get so my main people that were buying was a lot of like older moms and like nurses. It was like really, it was just, that was like straight.
And then the other question I have is there like good discounts on that product, like the retail price?
It's like it's always like $39.99 or either like $40.
And then what's the retail price?
It's like 50.
Okay.
60 or something like that.
Yeah, so I don't know what percentage, was that like 30% off or something like that? But so that could be good enough. But so one of the main reasons why you want to go live is, one, if it solves a huge problem, or two, if it's a big discount. Like, people love buying sales thing. Like, that's the whole thing about QVC and Home Shopping Network. It wasn't necessarily something that people need, but if the discount is that big, people will just purchase it. So go ahead.
I also experienced, so I would get like 200 viewers, man. Like, I would be streaming late at night consistently, like, every day, 200 viewers, and the sales wouldn't come through.
And what were you pushing?
Same leg massage.
It's got to be a product. Maybe that just doesn't sell well on lives.
That's what I feel like. You know?
Yeah.
And I was doing the back shizitsu.
Yeah, the other massager.
That one was ripping for me.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'm not sure an exact answer to it, but I would say that if you had that many people in the room and there weren't conversions, that it's probably the product. Go ahead.
So I don't know if this matters, but do you think going live at a certain time of day, does that matter on like the product? Let's say you're selling a kitchen set, right? Would you want to do like later in the day, like, because like most people, like adults, are getting back from work at like 6, 7, or if you're doing more like you know, I don't know, shieldage, what does it like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, that's a great question. So I don't have a strong answer because I've tested everything and I've made money at 5 a.m. in the morning, I've made money midday, and I've made money late at night. So, but I've also the opposite, I've also not made money at those times. So what I'm not God where I don't know the exact answers, I'm not Mr. TikTok, but what I try to focus on is when do I have the most energy? Because I find that when I have the most energy, I have better lives and I have better viewership and better conversions. So I'm an early morning guy, so I just want to rip it first thing in the morning. I find that that works better for me, but there might be some data on there. I find it hard to believe that anybody that says timing matters, that they actually have data to back it, but there is a chance that that's true. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Dude, it's so weird for me. I was streaming in the morning, 0. Streamed at night, boom!
Yeah, then I go back to a rational thought process of like a lot of QVC and Home Shopping Network was late at night, but there's also during the day because you have the stay-at-home moms or the grandparents that are home during the day. It probably depends on who's buying it.
A lot of people told me, I was speaking with a lot of live streamers saying, oh, your analytic account, your people, my account, for example, they were active degenerates from like 2 in the morning to like 5 in the morning. Could that play a factor why my account was jumping at night?
It definitely could. And then, yeah, I don't know enough about how like the algorithm works and pushing it out in regards to that. So I wish I had a better answer for you, but.
It's one of those things that it's a gray area with TikTok because we don't have no reps to speak about, but I have a general idea. I didn't rip it hard enough.
Yeah, it's interesting because I work with Yerba Magic right now. I coach their live creators and we have rep through TikTok and they don't have answers. Like they don't even know. So it's interesting. So like the people that say they know, they have a hunch maybe, but it's definitely not like gold because we talk with these reps all the time and we don't have answers on certain things as to why traffic is great here, not great here, great early in the morning, not great at night. It's really a guessing game.
Makes me happy though, I'm not gonna lie. It's 50-50 because I was thinking, bro, like you said, I was going in with the energy. I always had the energy. I had everything, like the bullet points. It was just no sales, bro.
Did you feel that your energy was good?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I was tired. I was really tired after the stream.
Yeah.
I was sitting massaging myself. I was tired, bro. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, my mouth was dry. I'm like, God.
Yeah, that will do it.
0 sales.
You gotta make sure you hydrate. And then I'll get back to the script part and use a proven outline. So yeah, so study other people that are doing it to get an idea. No different than using the daily virals for like ideas and things to mimic. I do the same thing with looking at other live creators and then I kind of copy down notes as far as what they're talking about. And then I start saying out loud and I see what flows off the tongue best for me. And then I create my own little script. I start practicing it and then I just go live. Like the best thing that you can do is just hit go live and figure it out because you're gonna keep getting better if you're committed to going live for X amount of days. You're gonna probably suck that first time and then hopefully you get better each time and you will if you keep going at it. Same thing that we were talking about tonality before, like you're on FaceTime or talking to a friend, but you do wanna make sure you're talking a lot about the flash sales and the discount because like these guys were saying again before, nobody cares about the exact ingredients. Some people do, you'll get those comments and you just address them. But as a part of your overall script, you don't wanna be going into the exact like breakdown of what L-theanine does. You wanna just briefly probably touch about it and have more of the problem solution based approach to things. Yeah, and just keep getting better at it and keep watching what other people are doing and then eventually you'll get a nice little script down that you'll hear me tomorrow that I can recite off the top of my head, but I'll get into that tomorrow because that's like kind of boring stuff there. This is even more boring stuff. Yeah, so just to go over this really quickly, when you go over your live script, you're gonna rotate through a bunch of different things. You wanna cover everything because it's not like a video. You have plenty of time to be able to go through every single little element. So I'm educating briefly people, I'm answering direct questions when I get them, I'm storytelling to hopefully create some relatability about how it's impacted my life. I reference my wife all the time, I reference my sister, I reference my wife's girlfriends because I think the data is like 65 or 70% of purchasers for Yerba Magic are women. So I'm always trying to, if they can't relate to my story, I try to implement other people's stories that maybe they can relate to. So I'm storytelling a lot, not just my story, but any story that again, sometimes it's make believe that I ran into this girl at the grocery store and she was telling her sister about this in line. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And then I'll get into make-believe people in a second. Lots of calls to action because people are not always there for the entire length of your, like, I usually have a 3 to 4 minute yap, I call it, where I cover all this and I'm sliding calls to action in throughout. So like as I'm referencing it, if you're interested, make sure you click that banner at the bottom of the screen. Looks like we got 6 minutes left on the timer. Looks like we got 4 minutes left on timer. Click that banner if you want to see more information. So you got to make sure that you sprinkle in CTAs throughout and not just at the end because people might not get there. You want to make sure that they're getting it as you're going. And then crowd work, I have a slide on that, but that's super important just to make sure people feel heard, people like being addressed, people like just feeling a part of something, right? And because you have them on the live, it's just more personal, and that goes a long way in hopefully creating conversions. You want to be confident, informed, and relatable. Know your product and the pain point it solves. You don't need to know the entire product. You need to know just enough to be able to talk about it, and you don't need to be an expert on all the intricacies. You just need to know how it solves that problem. If you're authentic about it, I get questions all the time like, can I take this when I'm pregnant, or if I'm breastfeeding, can I take this? And I don't know those answers, to be honest with you. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist, I'm not a nutritionist or anything like that, but I'll just address what I know, and they appreciate that, and then usually somebody else might answer the question for me. So you just be relatable, be authentic, and it's gonna go a long way on your lives. I think I talk about the flash sales and how it creates urgency and scarcity. Yep, so that's super important. Use that all the time. Like I said, with the timer, 8 minutes left, guys, 4 minutes left, 2 minutes left, you got 60 seconds left, guys. Make sure you click that banner when this flash sale ends, it goes away. And then the scarcity, when you go live, you get to set how long the timer is for, as well as how many units you're selling in that live flash sale. And over 10, it doesn't show anything, but if it's 9 or less, it shows it on the screen. So I usually put mine around 5 because I know that it's like a kind of a sexy number that drops pretty quickly, and then I can reset the sale if we sell out. Guys, you got 5 products left. These are gonna sell out. Make sure you guys click it. I'm getting off at the end of this live. I probably say that about like 40 times. Like if somebody actually watched the entire length of my lives, like they'd be like, this guy's a full shit. And I'd be like, yeah, you are.
I would study these guys, and they would say that, they would repeat it. I'm like, oh shit, I missed the CTAs, dog. That's what I was missing.
Yeah.
I missed the CTAs. That's what I'm realizing.
Do you have a question?
Yeah, I was gonna say, because I know one thing for me when I was doing lives, just like really confusing actually like getting set up with the live flash sales. I don't know if you're gonna touch on that.
Yep.
You are?
I might. I had a slide in there. I don't know if I kept it in there or not. I thought maybe I'd show it tomorrow when I'm actually doing it so that you can see it as I'm setting it up.
Yeah, because I know that's one thing for me. It's like, I didn't even know how to get those live flash sales.
Yeah, I don't know if that slide's up there, so I'll just touch on it real quick. You have to deal with the brand directly. The brand's the only people that can set up these live flash sales. And so you need to either be in their Discord or talking to them on WhatsApp or whatever communication it is that you talk to these different brands on. And most of them, if they're worth working with, will give you live flash sales because that's the only reason why people should really be going live. Otherwise, you don't have leverage. You're selling the same exact product at the same price that the video creators are already printing with.
And so do you think it's worth reaching out to the brand even if like you're just about to go live and you don't even have any results? Like what has been your experience with like reaching out to brands and asking to do that?
Yeah, 100% yes. So because I do this for Yerba Magic, I'm the one that's in charge of setting the live flash sales for anybody who reaches out. And it's a no-brainer for us. It does take out of the overall inventory and it gets assigned to a creator. But the way that we go about it is that we assign a small amount to somebody that might be just starting out. We kind of ask for like, are you newer? Have you been doing it? If it's somebody that does my kind of numbers, they're gonna like give a little bit more of a inventory. But if somebody's starting off, we'll give them like 10 of each product. And if you sell that out, just send us another message and we'll restock you. So it's worth it reaching out to get that because it's a no-brainer if you have somebody that's willing to go live. Because one, even if they make no sales and they suck, it's still exposure. Like the fact that somebody's going live with their time and their products on front of you, like the exposure is important. And that goes both ways. So that's like, it's like retargeting on both sides. Sometimes people will see it on the videos and then they'll purchase it because they can ask that one last question that they had to you on the live. But then it also goes the other where they might hear a lot about it on the live and then they'll buy it from a bottom of funnel video the next day. So you want to make sure that you are live to be able to get those because I have made plenty of sales where they just had one last question that they needed to ask and I was able to address it. Tell personal stories. People love stories to be able to relate to. I ask a lot of questions and shout people out. I go in deeper into this on an engagement slide, but that's super important because that helps to push out your live to more people. The more engagement that you have, the more comments and everything, the more TikTok pushes you out. I was like memorizing my script and saying the same thing over and over again. And I didn't realize that there are some scumbags out there that record your audio and then they just have a little thing that's circling and they put your product on that's rotating and then they'll put your voice over it. And I started getting violations on my own lives that I was actually speaking on because they said it was pre-recorded material or unoriginal material and stuff like that. One thing that I figured out was doing the engagement stuff kind of breaks it up so that people can't record it and you can't really get screwed with it because you are breaking it up being like, has anybody in the chat actually tried it? What's your favorite flavor? And then you'd be like, Sebastian, that's awesome. How long have you been drinking it for? And that kind of breaks it up.
And so I want to ask you, so like when you're doing lives, like you said you do kind of like a 3 to 4 minute like wrap around,
yep.
Kind of wrap it back around. Like, Do you do a lot of engagement with the chat, like in that 3 or 4 minutes, or are you more just like, okay, this is the problem, this is the solution, call to action, or do you engage with the audience?
Yep, nope. So it didn't start off this way, but now that I have it down pat, I'm able to like break character at any moment. I want to address the question as soon as possible because I don't want them to leave. So the second I see it on my second monitor, a comment or something like that, I'm talking to them and then I'll jump back into my little script there.
So I don't know if you said you were going to talk about this in the next slide, but shout out for purchases.
Yep.
Like just thinking about that, I feel like that would make me like feel good if I bought something from you and you shout me out. It's like, is there like a psychological thing to that? Like if someone gets a shout out on a live, like it almost puts them in like a spot. Like
yeah, so I'm less concerned about that person feeling great. I want them to feedback, but it creates FOMO for the other people. So the other people see that that person bought and is like, oh shoot, that person bought, like I want to buy it. And now there was 5, now there's 4. I better hop in on that. And then I don't just shout them out, but I ask follow-up questions to try to get more feedback. I'll be like, what flavor did you grab? And then I'd be like, is this your first time purchasing this? What's your biggest benefit if it's not their first time buying it? So there's all kinds of strategies that you can have. I try to engage it, and it makes it more fun for me too, because otherwise it gets boring.
Yeah. Does your live community, are you building like a community? Do you, like, not like a community like this, like when you're going live, you notice like this mom keeps showing up?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what was happening with me. I had consistent, like, same people, and I think that's what it was like. They were just chatting there. They were
Correct.
Like,
I
don't you guys have nothing to do?
I usually like full
They're
conversation.
just chilling.
I have full
Bro, it
conversation.
was like 30 minutes
every day.
and
It's like,
I felt like I was messing up my algorithm, and I had it almost every time.
Yeah, my wife does not like Brie Baby 1991. She had to get blocked because she was showing up a little bit too often. Yeah, showing up too much and like being too friendly. But what I find in that is like, this is business, right? Like this, I'm not doing this for fun. Even though I have fun with it, I don't really want like necessarily fans that want to do that. So I don't do it on the live, but I take notes of a username that might be around too much. And if they're not purchasing, and now they didn't have this a year ago, but they do now, you're able to see on your live who's purchasing. So if somebody I feel just a little bit uncomfortable with, that they're just hanging out and they're being a little bit weird, I just block them. And it's like one person, and it's like,
I think that's what I had a problem, bro. I'm telling you, I was ripping the leg massage, but I was having the same like grandma's moms like in my live like chatting, like they were all talking. Oh, you have hair? I was like, what's going on?
Yeah,
so
or the affiliates are like, bro, how much money have you made, bro? Like, get that fuck out of here.
Yeah.
I love you, bro.
Yeah.
They're like, is this selling for you right now? Bro, like,
Yeah.
no, I'm just on here. I'm just here.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I've actually made like $100 in less 5 minutes off these people.
Right, we're here to make sales. We're not here to like make friends and lifelong relationships, right? So like, I'm very quick now. I used to not be, but I'm very quick for that block and mute button now.
I'm gonna send it
Yeah.
to you.
you ever had someone who like does that, but every time they buy something?
What did you say that again?
Like, have you ever had someone who's like in your live all the time, but every time they buy something?
I have. That's a hard one too, because energy is important, right? Like my energy is important, whether they drain it or not. The energy in the room's important. Like energy is just flowing, and if they're killing the energy, that one sale doesn't make it worth it for me, because then it impacts me, which then impacts everybody else in the future after that. So like, if it's starting to like wear me down, if I don't like the comments or the energy that this person's putting in the comments, they're gone, even if they're buying a bag a week, because those 4 bags a month aren't going to make or break my month.
How bad is the trolling on live? Because I see all the time.
Yeah, it varies. I'm lucky. What's that? I have, for sure. You learn a lot about a lot of things. Like I had definitely had some trolls that like to use some derogatory words, a lot of racist and like religious based words that keep, yes. Yeah, no, seriously. And I didn't realize that you could block certain words because they were like missing a letter or mixing it, but you knew what they were saying. But no, you figure out, like, because then I had to go down the research rabbit hole of how do you get somebody to stop putting certain words, and I learned that you could, and then I had to type the freaking words into like my blocked words list, which made me feel interesting. If you see something like that, you just add those words to your blocked word list, and then they don't show up. And then they also have a new thing now that you can block, I don't know what, community sensitive words or something like that. So there's some like questions that don't come through the filter, but they do filter out a lot of different things now. So they have added a lot of different things, so I don't get trolled as much as I used to. And eventually trollers quit, like they find somebody else to jump on. And yeah, so there are some people that bring great energy to the chat that like would be like, I swear by this product, I lost 40 pounds on it, and I know that I can't talk about that. But and also it's nice having a third party as an authority in there and be like, there was this one guy on the walking pad, he dropped like 60 pounds in like 3 months from just walking 12,000 steps a day, and he kept popping in, and he didn't troll, he didn't like bring bad energy, but I would see his username, I'd be like, Brian, I see you just hopped in the chat, good morning, brother, I just referenced you, would you share your results with the chat here, and then it was like really beneficial for them to be able to ask somebody else questions.
You like pin the comment and shit?
Yeah, exactly. You can pin comments. So there's all kinds of strategies there that you can do there. So you got to use your comments, like the chat. Like if something's good, highlight it. If something's bad, get rid of it.
Like you can make a claim without making a claim.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I already covered this. I go live for at least an hour. I know some people suggest more, some people give up early. Hour's my metric that I go by. If I'm making sales, it ends up being 90 minutes to 2 hours. My longest live has been 4 hours. I had a goal. Somebody in the Yerba Magic community did like $4,500. No, what was it? I did a lot more when I was doing the walking pad treadmill, but recently I did Yerba Magic and somebody just was shy of 5,000 GMV in a live, and I wanted to break that 5,000 GMV, which what's that math? 5,000, 20% commissions, $1,000. So I wanted $1,000 live. If I'm the live coach, I want to have the highest GMV on there. How about this? I was getting close around the 3-hour mark and I made like 2 sales in the last hour. Like it took me an extra hour to make those extra 2 sales, but 4 hours and I was fried for the rest of the day. An hour is what I know that I can personally, everybody's going to be a little bit different. Some people can go, like that guy Bennett, he can go 8 hours and still bring energy and be cool with it. But I know what my threshold is. It could take 15 to 45 minutes. Like I said, make sure you set goals that feel attainable to you. I already talked about how that first 30 days I did 60 minutes a day. The dashboard that you'll see tomorrow, I don't remember if I have the screenshot again of what that looks like, but it helps out a lot. When I was early on, we didn't have that. Now we do. I can see the actual sales coming in consistently, and that gives you the extra motivation to keep going another minute, another 5 minutes. And like, it's silly how it works. Like you see just one more sale come in and be like, I'll do one more flash sale for 5 more minutes. And then you get another sale, I'll do 5 more minutes. And then it adds up, right? If you're making $6 to $8 a sale every 5 to 10 minutes, that adds up to something that's actually not a bad income. Yeah, then you got guys like Bennett that are going 8 hours a day and making $1,000 to $2,000 a day, and they treat it like a shift and not a sprint.
Question.
Yep.
So in your experience, at what point in the live, like, you know, if you go for an hour and a half or 2 hours and you haven't gotten a single sale, like say you're testing your product, like how long would you say to go on live and during one live stream before you get a sale before you're like, okay, like I need to stop this live and try again?
Yeah, an hour is my personal thing. So like, and that, I don't think, once again, that's like a rule throughout. Everybody's gonna be a little bit different. I know that after an hour, I'm like checked out. So like, I'll test something for probably 2 weeks at an hour a day to see if that works.
Have you ever like gone like, let's say you in a live at like 8 a.m. and for like an hour and it just like completely flops? Would you like go again like maybe 8, 9 hours later on that same product?
I've gone live as much as like 3 to 4 times a day. I get incentivized by a lot of these different things we were talking about during lunch, like the different like bonuses that brands will put out throughout the year. And if there's an incentive going on, you better believe I'm going live more than I usually would that 1 hour a day.
So with live streams, what I'm noticing is I was doing all the stuff that, like, I guess you could say ripping it like this. The only thing is I just wasn't as consistent, man. I kind of, what is your guys' opinions? You guys, after watching this, you guys think you weren't just as consistent on lives, or?
Yeah. For sure.
Like that's what I'm noticing right here. Like I wasn't ripping the comments too much, or I wasn't like, because I would have ladies that would literally come in, nurses that would literally say, my legs, these are amazing. Like I could have referenced those ladies multiple times instead of me just blocking them, bro. Or just,
Yeah, I think like for me, because I did try live for like maybe a month and I had like some $100 days, but like now I realize like if I had kept going, you know, dialing in on my energy, script, choosing the right products, and I probably could have made a killing. But for me, it's just I didn't stay consistent.
Yeah. So my question, like, how long did it take you guys to like get your first videos to rip? Like, 20 days. So how, to me, it's no different. Like, imagine if you went live for an hour a day for 20 days. It would be maybe not the same because videos can go get 5 million views and then you can go make 20 grand off a video. But like, it's not much different of like a framework or a mindset when it comes to that.
Yeah, and like I went live last summer and I did pretty well. It was like consistent $100 an hour. And it took me a while to get to that point. And then once I hit it, it was just consistent. Like it was just straight consistent. And fuck was they say, oh yeah, like Bennett, right? Like he's been promoting the same niche for so long, like so consistent. That's why TikTok knows exactly who to push his lives to. Like in my opinion, that's how I see it. As to why he does so well with whatever
look
product.
at it too, like if you're an algorithm or you're TikTok, all he's done is that. Like, like why would the algorithm not want to push him?
Yeah.
Like, that's what I was talking about.
Go ahead.
I have a question for Hugo. Yeah. You said it took you 20 days to your first video. Did you like do any like communities or like get any type of coaching?
Correct. I was so I paid for a mentorship with Chase. It was like $1,000 mentorship, and then it was like English. It was like English, and then I realized, yeah, Chase went on RC. He was like a live stream guy.
He does the mirror live stream.
All live stream, man. All live stream.
Yeah.
I got into seeing his live streams, bro, and then the script like that, I realized it was the same thing for videos. I guess it just clicked for me, videos. I don't know, it made more sense.
Yeah.
And it's literally the same framework, bro. Like, and I'm realizing it now.
Yeah.
Like, it's literally the same framework. But it was just that, like, 20 days. It was a mentorship, and it's like the same thing, like, how he has, but it's more, I'm gonna be honest, his is more built up.
Yeah,
I'm completely honest.
like my first like 2 months, I just tried to do it by myself, and I definitely.
I was doing bottom of funnel the first 30 days.
Yeah, definitely.
Go ahead.
So I live in a ugly house. I don't like showing my background. Do you use green screen or no?
Depends on what you're going to be promoting. Obviously, for like the walking pad treadmill was one thing. I didn't have a super sexy place either. Like I had a corner of the room just like this that I had a standing desk. Can you see this here? So like you can see how small it is on the screen there. Like it's kind of like I have all shit all over here, and like, but what's on the camera there, it's super small and dialed into just literally that there. So you just have to play with it a lot with your tripod and figure out where it is. I also, after this, when I started doing supplements, I did faceless. So I was behind the camera and I was just pointing a lot and shaking a lot and doing that. And you don't have to have a really big space for that. You can have this wall right here and do it in front of. So you don't need a whole lot.
This is what I'm gonna invest to, because I'm in the same situation. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get a backdrop. What is it? Yeah.
I would also say, like, it's kind of like I was talking about. A lot of people think that like stuff like that is like a flaw or a weakness, but like, bro, honestly, like you can still rip live.
Yeah, people are more relatable sometimes, right? More people have like
a normal looking house.
Yeah, a normal looking house.
Like sometimes even this background will alienate people because they're like, oh, well, I can't relate to that.
Correct. Yep, agreed with that.
I'm gonna be honest, bro. I don't think they're gonna relate to mine either because they're really bad.
Alright, that's too, but he changed my perspective. I had like a whole Virgin Mary, like a whole, bro, it's like.
No, mine is, yeah. I really want to get into it. Yeah.
Bro, I'll see you on live though, so I'll see it.
And I'll be honest with you, sometimes that's like bait for people to stay or comment or like stick around longer to look at things. And I try to clean up my space almost too much to a fault, I think sometimes. And that like there's nothing for people to comment on or people to like interact or stare at because it's just me and the product. So like I want to start implementing in my lives and videos more like things in the background to capture people's attention.
Yeah, so let's do baby oil and lube.
In one of those pictures, I noticed you had, because I did live on a standing desk, can you add like 2 links? And since they kind of complement each other, does that like increase, like, I don't know if you can.
Yep, so this is what you're talking about right here?
Yeah, and then the desk, because I have a desk, like,
Yep.
I don't know if that goes up and down, but I have a desk that was on.
So this was just a screenshot that I think, oh no, my wife took a picture of this. None of these are screenshots, this is a screenshot. But this is no different than this right here, where you can only put one thing pinned as the banner, but I'm always referencing my other thing. So right here, my main product is gonna be the Yerba Magic. In that cart, there's 2 other items there. I have the Yerba Magic 5-in-1 capsules as well as the pure yerba capsules. So throughout my script, once again, I'm gonna be like, if powdered teas aren't your thing, we also have these capsules right here, and I'll highlight those for 30 quick seconds and be like, how you get them is click that orange shopping cart in the bottom left-hand corner. You'll see their item number 2. It's 40% off right now.
I just remembered, also another reason why my views jumped is instead of having one thing in my shopping cart, I had 4 different things in my shopping cart. Do you think that boosts traffic?
I feel like I'm like not informed enough to speak on that.
So I look at the dashboard, it would be like, I'm pretty sure you've noticed, it would be like increased traffic or increase.
They do say add more things for increased traffic, but I have trust issues and I just don't know if they.
The only reason why I bring it up is because I noticed my views increased as soon as I added 2 or 3 more.
Okay, well then.
Yeah, that's where the problem is. But the goalie, for example, when I first started doing goalie, I had like 8 of them. And obviously goalie was saturated, but I was doing goalie in Spanish.
Yep.
And I'm gonna be honest, it was not pushing. Like it was.
Yeah, so my philosophy on that, I learned this from marketing back in the day, was like a confused buyer doesn't buy. So if you have a bunch of different products in there and they're just like ripping.
I had sleeping gummies, I had ACVs, I had everything.
So that's, I try not to reference that too much unless I have the product right as I'm talking about it, and I'll direct them exactly where to go. That's why I talk about item number 2 in the cart. It's this percentage off this price because I want to guide their eyes right to it, because if you rely on them too much to be able to find it, they're just going to keep scrolling because it's going to be like it's too much work and stuff like that. So here, I was also selling, I'll tell this story in 1 second, but I was selling, this wasn't the right desk, but I was still selling a desk down there because people would ask all the time, like, I got the walking pad, but I don't have anything anything to put it on. I got this desk right here, orange shopping cart, item number 2. It's on sale for $89 right now. So always sell more things if you have them there. I wouldn't try to confuse them too much and be like, you got this. Yeah, and like this right here, this is actually at our home in North Carolina. That's the story that I keep telling, that like I started ripping and we were going for 3 weeks down in North Carolina, and I was just like, yo, I'm starting to kill it like $1,000 days. I don't want to give this up. And we canceled our flights and we drove the 13 hours down in North Carolina with 2 walking pad treadmills in our trunk. And then I sent that down there. I just ordered online there, and then we were going live every single morning, and I was making $1,000 a day in 90 minutes, then going to the beach for the rest of the day. Right? It was, yeah.
90 minutes, bro. It's like $700 an hour.
Yeah.
You can sale like every like 2 minutes.
Yeah, dude, they were printing for me. Like, I also had 831 people in the room at the time. Yeah, it was weird. Like, I ebb and flow. Like I said, lately, I've been between like 15 and 60 viewers at a time. There was a time though that I was like between 800 and 2,000 people in the room, and like my wife would be like, time to go to the beach. I'm like, not right now. Like 2,000 people. I've never talked in front of 2,000 people. I'm gonna be stepping till the wheels fall off here. Like,
that's insane.
Yeah.
The beach at home. I have a question. It's like going back to like trying to remember the times when I was going live like a while ago, but I remember like I would make just as much money with 30 to 40 people live as I would with 300 sometimes. Like, have you kind of noticed that?
Yeah, it is interesting. Once again, one of those things that I don't know the information on, because sometimes I feel that with my trust issues that TikTok just sends like bots out and to fill up the room, because you can't really see who's actually in the room except for like the top like 10 or 15 people that are in there. So I have seen that where I've had a couple hundred people in the room and next to no sales. I've also have had 3 people in the room, and 1 out of those 3 every couple minutes are buying. So
That's what mental.
it's completely a mental game. The live game is completely mental. So the crowd work, the engagement, I already touched on this quite a bit, but attention is the game. It's no different than the videos. It's just a little bit different. You need to have a hook. You need to get them captured. And what's hard with this is that people are entering at all different times. So there's all kinds of strategies to this. Like I said, one of the first ones is the comments and the sales. I'm always referencing that on my second monitor, where if somebody makes a sale, I'm shouting them out and trying to interact with them. If there's comments, I'm jumping right into those comments. Sometimes if I'm bored a little bit, I don't do this too much. If I see a username pop in that I can pronounce, if it's not like a bunch of letters and numbers, I'll be like, looks like Tay Washington just jumped in the chat. What's up, Tay? Where are you checking in from? Just to like break it up to see if I can like bait somebody into answering a question. If people are chatting in there, I want to try to ask what their favorite flavor is, how long they've been drinking it, how long they've been using it, whatever it is. I already talked about the shout out adds to carts and the purchases. It builds FOMO for the other people that are in the room. And then there's some cool things that you can use that are tools. Like they have like sounds that you can hit that either clap, they ring the bell, and then sounds like ASMR is a thing for a reason, right? So I try to implement that into my lives as well. So thinking that I'm at my house and I have my setup, but like, so I make a drink, so I have a visual element to it, and I have a glass with a metal straw. So that makes sound. So I'm stirring it so you can hear the ice cube. So if I'm quiet, you're hearing something, and like I'm crinkling the bag. Like if I'm showing it, I'm making sure that I'm making noise with the bag. I'm always trying to just capture somebody's attention in some way. Table taps, yeah, I'm like always just trying to break it up. So just like if you're scrolling and it's dead silent and there's nothing there to really break up like your brain waves to like stop, they're gonna keep scrolling. So I'm always doing something, whether I'm tapping, if I'm moving, I'm shaking something, I'm stirring the drink. I'm always doing something to try to capture their attention. There's a sound that they clap. I got lazy and I stopped going around the tripod to hit it. I bought my own bell that you'll see tomorrow that I just have to bell. Now that's what I was talking about, where I make things up sometimes, where I'll just randomly start hitting the bell and I'll start shouting out my entire family. I'll be like, Gina G just bought. Congratulations, Gina. Let me know what flavor you grabbed there. Oh my God, Brandon, who's my brother. Brandon just made a purchase. Oh my God, we're gonna sell out of this thing. So,
Bro, I tried to class and I was making no money, so it was like,
yeah. What's that?
It says like the item sold, and so I would say that, but there'd be no item sold.
So that's a newer addition to things. That came on in the last so many months. They didn't have that for the longest time. But if your room's big enough, like we're in the game, so we know how that looks. Most consumers have no idea about that, so they're not paying attention to that. Like we're doing this on a daily basis, so we see it and we know what it is because we're studying everything. But your average consumer isn't looking at that.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but I have fun with it. Like if the wife is sleeping in the other room, and she'll like hear me name every single person in my family, and she'll be like, "Oh, looks like I bought another bag of Yerba Magic today. Which flavor did I get today?" I already start swirling the drink, zooming in. Sometimes I'll put a whiteboard out with words on it and stuff like that, just so that they have to stay there to read it. It's all about capturing attention in different ways and just testing different things to see what sticks.
I've seen them because back when I had brain rot, I would go through lives and I would see when someone would purchase something, they would write their username.
Yep.
Oh, I see that.
Yep, so that's definitely a way to do it. Everybody's got some, that definitely wouldn't excite me just having to write everybody's name. You gotta do what works for you and like what makes you wanna keep going. If I had to like look at the name and then turn around and write it, like I know that I wouldn't be consistent myself, but everybody's gonna be a little bit different. So if that works for you, like I would just go at it, you know? But then also, I guess you can make names up if you wanted to. Right, that could create FOMO too, right?
So I'm about to do it this week. I'm gonna text you at the end of the week. I'm gonna rip a live. I'm gonna do all this stuff because I feel like I was missing the calling out the fake engagement. Not really fake engagement.
Reach out to the brand as well and get a flash sale. That scarcity and urgency is important.
Yeah, shout out to Goalie. They showed me how to do that, honestly.
Yeah.
It was the Discord. It was the first TikTok shop Discord that I joined, and they showed me that you can do live. That's where I learned to live stream, I guess you could say.
And what I will say about this too, I'll say it. I'm ready to switch up products a little bit because I think eventually things get watered down on lives. If they see it all the time, they probably have purchased it already or know about it. You want to have something that they haven't seen before. And if they haven't seen it before, they're interested in it and they want to buy it. So Goalie was never something that I was super interested in doing. Yerba Magic, we just crossed our 500,000, almost 600,000 units sold. That's a lot. So like I want to find another product that nobody knows about that I can really pump up and sell. So I think that your leg massager might be one. Otherwise you might find something else that isn't as out there.
Yeah, seeing this is crazy because I mean, this is, you just added this to the course, right?
Yeah.
This literally just got added.
Yeah, and just to give you guys some context, like I don't think a lot of people understand like the gravity. Like Matt literally, like you guys have seen Yerba Magic #1 for like 2 months. Like he's one of the main reasons because of that. Like that's insane. That'd be like being the main reason Goldie blew up.
And it's not even like, a mom, bro.
Yeah, the fact that we're getting like this value, like it's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I learned a lot about lives.
Yeah.
So like if you typically do well like supplements, you should probably stay in like supplements. So like could you go like a different niche? Like if you, let's say you ran up a product for a while and it was in the supplement niche, should you probably stay like in that niche?
So people have philosophies on this. I disagree with them. I have run it up on a walking pad treadmill, which is more of like a fitness electronic. I've run it up with, on the same account, supplements. I've run it up with furniture as well, which are considered 3 different niches. And I haven't had a problem with it. Some people say that you could stay within the same niche. I've also had this situation with videos that I've run both. I don't remember who I was saying it during lunch, but I've run both English and Spanish on the same account as well. And I made money on both videos. So I just have those trust issues that I was saying, that I don't believe that TikTok really just puts you in a corner, but other people do believe that. I just haven't had that experience myself. And then I figured out what I was gonna say. It's a lot harder for people that started printing with videos to come back and do this. For you, you should be doing lives as well as your videos, because this will start bringing you immediate income as you get going. Like I said, it took me about 4 or 5 days to make my first dollar, but before you know it, 14, 15 days later, I'm making $100 days. And that paid for my base living expenses while I figured out videos and other things as well over time. So for newbies, 100% you need to be doing lives in alignment with this. It's harder if you, especially you, man, you've made a lot of money in this game. To sit down and like spend an hour of your time with all zeros across the board is like a mental thing. Like it's like, what the heck am I doing here? But if you do it long enough, like you would end up having success with it. And then another thing was that, to your question about like switching it up, I guess it's still the same niche. Did you say product or niches?
Like more like both, because like if you like supplements, because like products, niches, like
I don't believe it. Like see the guy Bennett, I don't know if everybody knows who Bennett is, but he still does foam pad, and then he did pillows, and he made like I don't know how many tens of thousands of dollars selling hotel like pillows. And it's a similar niche but completely different product. And I just think that he's got enough consistency and time now that he can sell anything, and that I think that I could do the same exact thing, in which I have. I'm not as disciplined as a lot of different people, where like if I'm traveling for a while, I haven't gone live in 3 weeks now. So like so that kills me. And then I have to build it back up, and before you know it, I start picking up momentum, I travel again. So I just haven't had the longevity of like a Bennett where he's going live for 7-8 hours a day for like a year.
Yeah.
So
his personal brand really, I scroll through and see how that's like another person I look, I guess dude, I did not go as hard on these lives. Like, this is a whole another beast.
Yeah, there's a difference between like the American-based brands and the Chinese-based brands, certainly. And Yerba Magic is a US brand, as well as no other product I'm going live with right now. But then the furniture, as well as the walking pad treadmill, was Chinese-based brands. And there's definitely a distinction between how they interact and how much they give you for flash sales and whatnot. And there's definitely a language barrier as well. I prefer only speaking English, dealing with the American-based brands, because it's just a lot easier for me to get my flash sales and understand like the same time zones and everything like that. But my guess is like somebody like Bennett is very similar to what I was doing with the walking pad treadmills, where you just got to get a rep with that brand and they start incentivizing you, and everything's negotiable. There's never like one set rule to anything. Like, I negotiated a nice little bonus with my walking pad treadmill. I think it was every 10 that I sold, I got an extra $300. No, I don't remember what it was. Before I go live tomorrow, I'm gonna look in my DMs to find out what my deal was, but it was stupid. I was already doing it and I was earning like an extra like $300 for every 10 sales. I think that's right.
Yeah.
But so you negotiate that right with the brand. I'm sure Bennett's doing the same exact thing. Like, there's no doubt in my mind that he's just selling for 10% commissions a thing. Yeah.
I'm having bad experiences with the Chinese companies.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's really common, right? Like, dude,
We were talking about that before the event.
Yeah. It definitely is coming.
The leg massager company is it's like a company that owns 3 other companies on TikTok Shop that are all leg massagers, and they have it like in a chokehold.
Yeah, my thought process on that, and I don't know, is that like, because TikTok is originally like a Chinese-based company, they already have a chokehold on these other companies that are also Chinese-based. They have relationships or whatever, and they're on the front page of every single thing, and they deal with just volume. They don't care about incentivizing individual creators, where the US-based companies, they're like coming in a little bit late, and they're like really willing to work with creators and whatnot to incentivize them to go live. So there definitely is a big difference there. But if you I started getting my leverage once I started having success. So I didn't just like reach out. I had bad experiences when I like even had success with other products and reached out to them until I started like hitting certain metrics.
I wish I could say the same. I ripped 80K. Most of my GMV is leg massagers. They don't pay me no. They're like, oh, we already increased the commission too much.
What I would do if I were you, I would reach out to is there multiple brands?
Bro, they have
competitors?
Chokehold. I tried. The competitor's Fit King. Literally is Fit King, and Fit King has like 100 sold. And their other competitor, they own it. Medicures. They literally own.
Keep reaching out. These, like, it's crazy. I don't have an understanding of it completely, but they have a lot of reps that work for them. When I was doing the walk pad treadmill, it wasn't for long. It was only for like 4 months, and I went through like maybe like 8 different reps from the company. Like, I don't know if they're always hiring, they're always quitting, if they're always, I don't know what it is, but I know that they're dealing with also a lot of creators as well. And so I would just keep reaching out and trying to get something there.
Alright, your videos get picked up by like GMV Maxes. I know for me, like, you remember the headphone situation? I had a video get picked up by GMV Max for these headphones, and they're like from like, I'm pretty sure they're from like Chinese. The commissions went from $12 to like 40 cents.
Yeah, so that happened to me, and I messaged the GPS tracker company. They actually raised my commission.
Okay, yeah.
So I've had the opposite. I don't know, dude. I've had like, it's weird. That's why like your story too of like how you're dealing with I gotta focus just US companies. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
And like from my experience, I could be wrong, I feel that a lot of the overseas companies don't deal with like the giveaways, like the incentive based, as far as like you hit a certain GMV, you get a car or the cash value, or you get a laptop or the cash value.
So your commission, that's enough.
Yeah.
You're promoting the video. We're giving you commission. That's what the ChatGPT, I could tell it's just ChatGPT response.
Yeah. So there's a lot more incentives to be able to work with the US-based company from my experience, which is exactly what I'm here. So like the flash sales and the giveaways are why you go live. The flash sales, you have no reason to go live if you don't have a lower price point, the timer counting down, or the units that are decreasing there. Otherwise, you're just competing with the videos, and the videos are typically more entertaining. So you get those exclusive sales, and then the giveaways that we were just talking about. The giveaways are huge. You want to make sure that you're really finding products that have these giveaways that incentivize creators, because I mean, it can add a 10 to 20% increase on your take home. Like, you guys have all seen the giveaways, right?
Yeah.
Like what they like. Okay, so yeah.
Money, like, no.
Correct, especially like a goalie. Although I'm anti-goalie because I think there's a lot of videos and there's a lot of like competition on there. It's better when you find like the brands that are like just starting to pop off, and like you can ride that wave and be one of like 50 creators as opposed to one of 500 to 1,000 creators.
Yeah, that's what I tell them all the time.
Yeah.
The only goalie product we ever post was that new bundle that came out.
Uh-huh.
All that like 6K units sold. Now it's at like 130K.
Oh my god.
Really?
I put that in the group. So
Yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah, dude, that It's because every time I see supplements or anything like that, I just think of violations and I go away from it. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, I'll touch on that real quick. Violations on lives are no different than videos. You have to be careful, especially with supplements and weight loss. I figure out ways to go around it. The potatoes is a big thing, like dropping potatoes, but I talk a lot about like the number on that square thing that I step on that's usually on my bathroom floor has been going in a downward direction, and no one ever picks up on that. You know, my wife thinks I look better in a bathing suit now. I'm more confident to like, do that. So there's ways around. You figure it out. After I had my first little wave of violations, you figure out that you don't want to say anything about scales, weight, or anything like that. And anything else, I don't want to keep boring you guys. It's gonna be more beneficial to see me going live tomorrow.
If this was boring, then I guess I don't know, man. Because what I'm getting out of all of this is like they just said, bro, we did not go hard enough on them.
Yeah, and then bundles are cool. The only people that I really saw with bundles was Gold. I haven't seen a whole lot of other products doing that, but Yerba Magic just put together their bundle, and I'm seeing live creators in the last 2 weeks crush it with it, because what that's really speaking to is going to be people that already are on the product and they want to get a better discount. So we're doing like a 2-for-1, buy one get one, buy two get one free, buy two get one free.
Buy three, I think, or you buy the 4-pack and you get 2 that are like 50 something. Like
yeah,
that.
and what's cool about that is that becomes high ticket for like supplements, right? Like you're not doing $30 things, you're doing $90 things, and you're getting $18 to $20 a sale as opposed to $6 a sale. So if you got access to a bundle like that, I would keep pushing it, because who I think that's gonna go out to is gonna be the people that are already taking it and they're looking for that sale. We covered all the countdown timer. I've talked about ad nauseum, giveaways. I'll cover that real quick. So there's also something that you can do with brands. Not all brands do this. You guys know that this is a different kind of giveaway, that you can give away free products on your live. Have you guys seen that? So if you get in bed with the right brands and they're really like creator based, they will give you certain products to give away for free. Certain ones, like if it's a powder like that, I know Yerba Magic is working on a frother to help mix it that's branded. That's not active yet, but they just ordered them, and I've seen other brands do things like that. But we're also giving away like sister products. So like Yerba Magic has the capsules as well as the Mockery. It's like a GLP-1 helping mocktail drink. So they're giving out free things in that, and how that's beneficial is that when you set up those giveaways, you're giving away one free item for a 10-minute timer, and you need to follow the creator as well as make a comment, and it automatically does it. It's whatever you set the comment as, and all that comment does when they do it is it pushes it out to more people. So it's one of those things that brands are very, very selective over who they give away items to, because you don't want it in a room of 3 to 5 people. But if you have somebody that has 50, 60, 80 people in a room and you're having 50 of them comment the same thing, that's pushing it out to more people, it's super beneficial. So giveaways, once you start getting like traffic and some success, are very, very helpful when you're negotiating with the brands. Everything is activated within the TikTok live dashboard. Who has seen that live dashboard? Everybody's seen it. That's a newer thing within the last, like, I think 6 or 7 months, and we didn't have that before, but it keeps getting better and better. You guys will see that tomorrow, and make sure you guys are talking to brands no matter what. Like, even if you just do one video, like, I would still reach out to the brand and see what they would do. Like, certain brands, you have no idea if they'll offer you something. Say, I created a video for you, I loved your product. Even if you don't, I would love to create more for you. Do you guys work with creators or whatever? And like, see what they say. They might offer you a retainer for something stupid like 5 or 10 videos. Like, you have no idea what the options are out there. It's a wild west, and it's not just like a month worth of video all the time. Some brands don't know what the hell they're doing, and they'll toss you $1,000 for 10 videos and just rock with it. So always reach out to brands. You never know what they might incentivize you with, and that might change your whole philosophy on who you do work with, both lives and videos. And then final things is just start. Don't overcomplicate it. Just like with videos, no different with lives. Imperfect action is better than perfect hesitation. You've got everything that you need simply by being a part of Sebastian's coaching program, or like just having a TikTok shop account. You have everything you need to know. Just go live and give it a try. I'm gonna be going live tomorrow. Hopefully I make some sales for you guys. If not, you guys will still hear what my yap looks like. And then you guys have been asking questions a lot, so I don't know if anybody has any additional questions. Cool. Awesome.
The first thing I want to go over a little bit is mindset, right? And getting motivated and not having the urge to work harder, right? So one thing I'll say is document your journey just like to yourself. Like, you don't even have to post it. Something I did that I know that helped Owen specifically is like, I have a whole, like, I keep it in my Snapchat for whatever reason because I don't ever go on there, so it's just like organized, but just like 3-minute videos of me talking to myself about like what the struggle is. Like, I would be down bad as hell and I would be like, okay, I need to film a video and document this. And what that really does is it allows you to always look back and look where you were before, right? And then you see how far you progress, and that's going to help you to look into the next step and see it for your eyes, right? When you can see yourself down down bad, you see yourself not making any money, you're having a hard day. It's like when that, and then you hit an uptrend, right? And then when that time comes back around, it's like, okay, I know exactly how to handle this because I've handled it a million times before. And you have all those videos to go back and look at. So not only should you, start a personal brand like Sebastian was saying, and like I'm going to talk about a lot tomorrow, but documenting your journey to yourself is so important so you can actually see the future. And then getting into marketing as well. Cash Advertising is one of the best books I've ever read in my life, right? So banger book, it really just helps like put in writing everything about marketing that like you should be doing. That shit, I've never highlighted a book so fucking much. And I think a lot of books are a waste of time, I'm not gonna lie. A lot of them it's just like recycle information. Cash Advertising, sauce, and then Think and Grow Rich, right? And that's another thing I wanted to touch on with mindset. So like you're talking about writing things down, that is super important, right? Like we're talking about journaling, acting as if you already have the things. And another thing that I do is every single day when I wake up, let me see if I can remember it off the top of my head, but I'd say I will have $500,000 by X, Y, and Z date. In return for this money, I will provide as much value as possible in my coaching business and TikTok shop. And I know that I will have this money in my possession. And my faith is so strong that I can now see this money before my eyes. And I'm just imagining the whole time, like my eyes are closed type shit, just sitting there imagining it. My faith is so strong that I can now see this money before my eyes. And I believe that, and I know that I can touch and feel it. And I say that, and then I also just cycle back around to, I know that this will come with time and that I will achieve it based on my faith and my hard work. So I say that word for word every morning and every night. And that shit just helps me once again, like remind, it's like having a GPS for your goals. It's like, you know exactly where you're going and exactly what you're doing. So that's something that they teach in Think and Grow Rich, which like in my opinion are the only 2 books you ever need to read, because that's just my opinion. They're really good and I've never learned as much stuff from those books as I have. And then also tomorrow, I really want to touch on personal brand, making that known. And then I'm gonna touch on more of scaling. So this is a lot of basic stuff. And so I'm gonna go over it a lot. And if you guys have any questions, please fucking ask me what's up.
I actually have a question about personal branding. So you guys say to start, is there like do you have to have a certain amount of like credibility to start a personal brand, or like is there like a recommended? Because like I know like the C8 for you guys probably helped a lot, like just like using everything, and it gives credibility to your name. We may not have that yet, but like is that like, you know what I'm saying?
So after I bought the car, I realized how much I didn't need the car to start posting. I was a bitch. I was a little pussy about it. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, oh yeah, once I get the car, I'll start grinding my personal brand. Biggest waste of time in my life. I could have been growing it from the beginning and just showing my results. It's like, dude, you have an 18K a month screenshot. Show that. So that's what it is. And also, if you like, just when you're doing that, you can document more of your journey up to build trust. And then in the future, when you really have results and you're just like, okay, here are my results, and you're dropping sauce and more education because you have the credibility behind it, then people can scroll back in your account and actually see your journey, which is so fucking smart. I don't know if Sebastian has anything to add on that.
I think exactly what Tay said. I was the same exact way, bro. I literally had multiple 100K profit months, and I still was like, I'm not qualified enough to talk about TikTok.
Yeah, you'll also always feel like that.
Yeah, and it's like insane because there's people that have like
I'm glad
10K
you guys say
and they're
that.
talking about it.
There's this dude that he does Snapchat. So what he's doing, he's screenshotting 50K, 300 GMB, $25 earned. One day it'll be, how much do you guys think I got for 100K? And it was less than any other day. So it's like, there's a way to like do personal brand for like me and you that already have those big. I feel like we just gotta literally be like, like kind of dish it like, okay, like we bring up Tay's name or bring up Sebastian and then dish it on like we're here, but like kind of like how do I explain it? Like,
providing authority behind the information you're giving.
You guys missed out type of vibe, like from as a like. Does that make sense? Because that's what I'm gonna do as a video. This is where I'm gonna start. Just saying right now, personal brand is
even just being here. Yeah, even just being here, this is like great content that you guys can make a ton of videos on. And the other thing, like Tay said, is bro, people care more about the journey. Like if somebody if you start posting and you're like already a millionaire, like yeah, that's cool when you might have a flashy car or whatever, but people still don't know anything about who you are or where you come from. So if you start like now, and maybe you're not this crazy months yet, but you start documenting the journey, talking about where you're going, and like when you do hit that goal, that just hits so much harder because people are gonna be like, I watched those guys come up. If you guys see the top guys right now that are like our age, like Brett Scales, like the reason they kill it so much because he started documenting even when he wasn't big. And then you got the GT3 RS, Lambo, whatever. And now people see that come up, and so it's so important to like start even if you don't feel like ready yet.
Exactly, and you have all the proof behind what you're saying at that point. And also, what was I gonna say? I'll answer your question real quick.
So like this is, I don't know if this is kind of obvious question. Like I've like posted like fitness content. I don't have like a ton, like 150 followers, whatever. But like if I wanted to start a whole new personal brand on TikTok shop, should I just like kind of just like start a new account?
That's what I would recommend personally.
That was what I was thinking, but like.
Because then it's like accurate growth, and people I see people like they have like banned shop accounts and they'll start a personal brand account. I think that's dumb because then it's like you have 100,000 followers on that account, but like your content obviously doesn't reflect that, and so like I think that's like a weird correlation and like can kind of hurt trust honestly. If you just have so I just think just the organic growth. I started from 0 on my page, and one thing I wanted to touch on is if you start posting personal brand content when you're a millionaire, you're so detached, fucking hate the rich. Like people are like, oh, like they can't relate to because they're like, oh yeah, this dude just makes money. Because people are dumb, right? They think people just make money out of air, right? But if you document your journey all the way up and then you're posting more proof and educational content as a millionaire when you're making more money, then it's like, okay, people can scroll down and say you're a real person, you were down bad as hell. That's why Sebastian always references being on food stamps, having that hard time, is because he can relate to people. Like now they see him, you know, up here doing much better, but it's like the fact that they were able to see that growth, that's what makes them feel attached and buy from people they like. And that's something, and I'll touch on that more personal brand. I'll be honest, I love that shit a ton, like the marketing and stuff. I love doing that shit. So I'll touch on that more tomorrow and really go, people buy from people they like. So
I think there's levels to it as well. Like, right, the people we reference all the time is the Gary Vee, the Alex Hormozis and whatnot, but how many of your friends would love to make an extra 3 to 5 grand? Like, and like,
always someone below you.
Like literally every single person that you know in your network would love to make another $3,000 a month from posting TikTok shop videos. So like, you have something to say that people want as is. Like, you don't need to hit a certain metric to be able to get that.
100%. I guarantee you start posting, you'll start getting DMs from people. At your guys' results on, you'll start getting DMs. That shit blew my mind. It's like the amount of DMs you get of just about like people curious at whatever level you are. There's always people doing a little worse than you that can look up to you. And then, okay, this is my presentation actually getting into TikTok shop. You know, it's how to get consistent virality with affiliate, right? And then like I said, tomorrow I'll really talk on scaling and recreation. That's like my main thing. Finding winning products, right? Like Owen said, I told him to stop doing so much product research because he was doing 5 hours of product research, 4 hours of product research. And I'm like, dude, put more time into videos, get better with the videos, then do more product research to get the winners when you have the skills to actually promote them and scale them, do well with them, right? That's my philosophy kind of on it. So people spend a lot of time, and a better way to frame product research is just studying, right? Looking at calorie data, looking at the daily virals. I personally don't find that many like individual products from those places, but what I do is I look at the overall trends. Like, okay, what's winning, what hooks, what concepts, what styles, like conspiracy. It's like you go on the daily virals and like, you know, a while back it was all over there. So then you know, like, okay, maybe I should get into conspiracy. I didn't necessarily take any direct products or direct videos, but it helps overall trends. And that's why in my program, we go over the daily virals all the time to see overall trends and what people are doing, because that's how you know what direction to move in. And that's kind of how I say to reframe product research, and you'll find products along that. But if other aspects of your content are shit, not even a winning product will save you, right? You can't polish a turd, yes, but also, you know, like if you just don't have the certain skills to actually, like, if somebody gave me cement, I couldn't make a house, right? Like, I don't know, cement's perfect to build a house, but I have no idea how to fucking use it. That is what I say about that, right? I don't know how to lay that shit, right? So that's exactly what I say about, like, you need to build the skills, right? Get the right products in. It's pretty, you know, just when you're starting out, it's like you really want to, so like Roberto, this will probably apply to you more. It's like, just look at what's working, take those products right now, and then over time, you'll learn what an actual winner is through your own content, right? That's when you'll be able to do your own product research. Like, okay, I promoted this product, it converted well, it got a lot of views. Now I know what similar products I'm good at promoting. And that's how you can really get the right mindset behind what products are good for you to promote. And the way that I found my, you know, $60,000 product, it might even be more than that, I'm not even 100% sure, was simply my following list, right? So I recommend build out a following list. If you guys aren't following like only TikTok shop creators on your account, right? In my opinion, like that's whack, right? Like I would only follow, or not only follow TikTok shop creators, but make sure you have a good following list of people that you can literally go look at when you're having a dud of a day, you don't know what videos to post, you don't have viral video inspiration, which is something I'll get into. Looking at your following list, you know, people that are promoting different products and different styles and different niches, you can always reference their videos, and it's like, it's a little shortcut to product research.
I'm curious, so, because I do follow like a ton of different creators, for example, like fitness creators, for example, money talk creators, and then TikTok shop creators. So my feed is always stuff like, is that what you mean? Or is it just straight TikTok shop, like you only want to follow? Because when I have my feed like that, I'm always learning whether it's like a new workout, right? Or whether it's like a new, not even like a new hustle, but like a new way to look at my money, or like how you were explaining it too in the car. It's like, that's what you mean, right? Or is it just strictly TikTok shop?
So I have multiple accounts. Like on my personal brand account, I follow online money people. So that's the content I see. That's how I get kind of motivated when I'm feeling whatever, right?
That's my question. I'm going to align it with TikTok.
But yeah, that's how I do it. So like when it's TikTok shop, it's like, that's what I want to see. That's the content I want to be consuming. Honestly, I don't even want to see personal brand content talk about, oh, I made 50K last month while I'm trying to grind a shop, because it just.
So back to what you were saying, like following different people. Let's say like your main winners are like supplements. Should you follow like people that other do like, maybe they make content like outside of TikTok shop, but like it's still like.
Yeah, because what's the best way to find viral video inspiration is finding something from another product or another style of content or another creator. That's the best way. So like I always vouch for, like, you don't want to just copy viral videos with that specific product. It's like you want to look at other products, see their concept, their overall style, how they're going about it, and then apply it to you. So that's why I recommend to follow people in all different niches and styles of TikTok. So following list, that's like honestly one of my biggest methods for product research, and just the way to like just speed run. It's like I can find products so quick like that. And then product, right? You want a product that solves pain and has video inspiration and also catches attention for high virality. And also you want to, this isn't the most important thing, right? But what gets a video to go viral? It's engagement and high watch time, right? Like those are the biggest two things. And so finding a product where it's like you can easily rage bait, or, you know, the controversy is built into the product, those are the best products. That's why I did so well with Shilajit, right? Talking about my Johnson. It's like, it's inherently viral. It's inherently controversy. It's like, I don't even have to do anything. I hold the camera by my Johnson and everybody's like, oh my God. And that's why that shit went viral, right? I didn't even have to do too much. So products like that, finding something that has built-in controversy, that's the best, right? So it sucks that that's kind of like what I'm known for in the shop space, but whatever, right? So Sebastian already went over this. It's just, you need something that solves a problem in pain, and then I'll talk about how to actually relate that when you're promoting your product. How do you actually dive deep into that pain, because that's something I talk about a lot, especially because I'm big into supplements, right? Like selling the pain with supplements is even more important, right? There's not too much pain you can sell when you're promoting the split speaker, but when you're promoting Goli Ashwagandha and somebody being obese, it's like you can really, really tap into that. And so yeah, if people are spam promoting it, it's for a reason, and oversaturation does not exist, right? So I've made Shilajit, I was late to the trend, right? Like I said, I got it off my following list. That's the one downside of going through your following list and getting products from there is typically you'll be a bit late to the trend, but you can still make so much money. My most viral video of all time was like, it was like 20 million views with the Olaf ball trimmer. That was way after the virality. There was so much video inspiration out there. There's so much proven concepts of stuff that has already gone viral. So I was able to just recreate so many viral videos, and one of them hit and took off, right? So you don't always need to catch the product when it's just like exploding. Is it great? Yes, 100%. That should be your goal, but that doesn't mean that you can't promote a product that isn't on its way to its peak virality or there.
Oh, you said it's like going back to like other people, like so many other viral videos. Then you just like take concepts like from this video and this video and this video, and then just like put it in one.
Combine them, exactly. That's why it's so great to have a product, or not so great, but it can be really good to have a product that's already gone viral because you have so much fucking inspiration. That scares people away. Like people see a product with 100,000 sales, they're like, oh, I can't promote it. And it's like, dude, you 100% can. You have so much proven concept of stuff that can already go viral. That's what I say about that. It's going viral for a reason. If people are spamming it for a reason, and that's also a good way to tell if a video is converting, right? You can't see the back end of somebody's video and if it's converting, right? Especially on the daily virals, a good way is to look in the comments, right? Are the comments positive? If you ever want to know, some people they'll go viral on the daily virals, but like they're not making shit, right? Like they'll post a conspiracy video, they don't make shit. And so if you look at their account and they're not recreating it, and the comments are shit, and they're getting clowned, and people are talking about skibbity riz and dumb shit, that's how you know the video didn't convert, right? High watch time, engagement, emotion, fast pace, and tone, right? So I want to touch on tone a lot, but I'll do that later. But generating curiosity with a hook in the first 15 seconds of the video. So I remember you asked, once you present the hook, what do you do after, right? So a good example, honestly, let me pull it up on my phone real quick. I always show this because it is hard to, when you have a hook that may be a little bit off topic to the product, how do you tie it back into the product and then get into the story, get into the benefits, get into the features? And a good example that I have on my account that I said I always show people is this right here. So once again, with the Johnson capsules, but let me find where it is. This one right here, right? So, hold in your laughs real quick. So not only did I have a good hook, right, is, fellas, what age can you take Shilajit, right? First off, I never even answered that question. So that generated so much curiosity. If you present a question and never answer it, right, not only is that insane watch time and high boost your average watch time, but also people are getting pissed off like, bro, so what age can I take it? Fucking idiots, right? I'm never gonna answer the question. That's the whole point, right? But they keep watching the videos, right? So it's just like, that's just pure rage bait, right? So like it's a 2-in-1. Engagement and high average watch time is exactly what gets your video to go viral, right? So not only did I say that, but then after I was, like, fellas, you know what I'm talking about, right? So what I did with that is I generated even more curiosity, right? So not only did I generate curiosity with what the age was and never answer that shit, but now I'm like, oh, fellas, you know what I'm talking about? Some people are like, oh, I think I do. Oh, yeah, I do. And then they want to stick around to see what it is that I'm talking about, right? So that's a perfect example of what to do kind of after hook. That's what I like to do, is dive deeper into the curiosity and then dive deeper into the pain. Those are kind of like the two routes that I typically take after the hook and how I go about doing that. So yeah, generating curiosity with the hook first 15 seconds, so fucking important. If you're recreating a video that converted well, this is what you should be doing, but I'll touch on that more tomorrow. And then engagement, comment bait, controversy, and relatability, right? These are the biggest things, right? How do you get somebody to comment? Like I just told you, piss them off, right? They want to know what age. They keep commenting. I keep doing comment replies, and it's just ever flowing. That's why I was able to make so much money with Shilajit specifically, that one product, is because I just like comment replies, right? Like that's just how I was able to do it. And so where I actually got the whole idea for age, which I feel like people don't talk about this, looking in the comments of viral videos is one of the best ways to find fucking video inspiration, right? People are like, oh, I don't know what videos to post. Go look at viral videos, look in the comments, right? See what the main pain points people are talking about, the main questions they have, and make a comment reply video. So I was doing Shilajit, right? Talking about Johnson's, people are like, oh, what age can I take this, right? Which is kind of fucking weird to begin with, but that's besides the point. That's why it went so viral. So everybody asking that question. So what I do, I replied to one, and then that shit took off, bro. People are still doing millions of views. And I don't know if I'm what started it, but I just know that I personally found it from my comments. So I have no idea, and that doesn't matter. But I know that I found it from my own comment section, right? So your own viral videos, look at the comment section. Other people's viral videos, look at the comment section. That's how you can get video inspiration. And then comment bait, right? Controversy, relatability. You want to have controversy in almost every single video. And what I like to say is people yap a lot in their TikTok shop videos. They're talking about like the dumbest shit, right? They're talking about features. They're just yapping about bullshit. People cares. It's not going to solve their problem. It's not going to change their life. And so everything you want to say in a TikTok shop video should be, calculated to some degree, right? You should have a hook. It should be the pain points. It should be the benefits, maybe back it up with features or authority, and then call to action, right? So you keep it simple. But controversy is one of the main things where I'd say like, it's worth adding that into the video. It's worth slipping in a little controversy here and there, in between like the main structure of your video, right? Because that is going to add value to the video to get people to comment. So that's super important. That's the way I kind of like to break it down, of adding controversy without like fucking just yapping, right? Because that's what a lot of people do.
So my GPS tracker, the way I do is I do a lot of controversy. When do you know, like, because I feel like you go too much, for example, like the one that I have, it's like I'm talking about tracking my girlfriend. It's too much. They don't like that. Like
it's weird. It doesn't convert.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So now let's say I start the video with protect yourself like this, and then you throw in a joke like, that's what I did. Track my girlfriend metaphorically, and that one is converting. That's what I noticed too. Like, but with the tones, maybe all of you guys, I don't know. With the tone is I changed my tone to more like a joking version, like haha, I'm tracking my girl, instead of me like, yeah, I'm tracking my girl like a psychopath. And that one, the
weird shit goes viral, dog.
Yeah, it made a difference. But basically what I'm asking with your shit legit, when you kept comment replying, was it like that same tone, or were you always like trying to change your tone up a little bit? Or, because with my video, I have like that voiceover tone that's like, oh, your leg hurts so bad, like, put this on, like I'm reinforcing that. Do you get what I'm asking?
I think so.
Like, do you repeat that same tonality?
Yeah, so tonality is fucking huge, and I'll talk about that a lot. So what I would say is, and this is kind of something I want to touch on a bit tomorrow, but I'll get into it now. So like, once you go viral, right, the further you get away from that original virality, the more you want to change about that video, right? So you go viral, you want to recreate it, same tone, 1-to-1, don't change much, right? But the further you get away from it, the more that the trend starts to change, the more you want to change about your video. So a good example is Owen, right? With goalie, he was doing like the drop in the balloons, right? Now he's, he has a table set up and there's food on the table, and now he has shit on the table, right? And it's because he got further and further away from his virality that he's changing more and more about the video to get it to go viral again and recreate that original virality. So that's gonna, if that answer your question in terms of like tone, like, okay, the further you get away from it, the more you should change your tone and try different things. And if you're doing voiceovers, such a simple, people think recreating a video is like starting it from scratch at all. So like what you could do is like literally just changing your tone a little bit here and there. That could be enough to change the video to give it a different result and go more viral or replicate the same virality that you already had. You see what I'm saying? So, and also controversy, right? You wanna make sure it doesn't take away from the actual video, right? So I'll talk about that a bit more. And so controversy, it's like, if you look in the comments and it's just flooded, if the video converts like shit, right? What I always say is, if you post a video and it goes viral, right? And it doesn't convert and you wanna recreate that virality, obviously the hook in the beginning half of the video is typically what generates the views, and the back end of the video, the body, the call to action, that's what generates the conversions typically, right? So when you get into the bit of the selling and the call to action. So if you go viral and the video doesn't convert, what you want to be focusing on, what you want to be changing about that video to go viral again, is leave the hook, leave the curiosity they generated in the beginning, because it got the views, it did its job. Now what's lacking is the conversions, the back end, the body, the call to action. And so what you want to do with that is you want to change the back end and then just recreate that video, because that's what's it's gonna make it go viral again, and then also change the back end and actually get better conversions or sell better, right? Because you're selling it for either longer, or you're selling it more, or you're tapping into more pain, right? So that's kind of what I say about that in terms of recreating. And also after you do that, if it still converts like shit, then it's like, okay, this concept is trash. Now I need to just change the concept, right? Like if I'm talking about shit legit, like, and I'm talking about age, it started to convert like shit. I was like this concept doesn't work. I need to change to a different concept. And then if you recreate a different concept and it still doesn't work, there's probably too much controversy in the video, or it's just a shit product. So that's how I identify personally if a product is just shit and not worth promoting.
Dude, you just put me on right now. I'm not even gonna lie. Like both of this, I have so many angles with this leg massager. I'm mind blown. Like my brain is like,
that's the point, bro.
Yeah.
Speeding right now.
Yeah, that's how I go about doing it, and recreating. That shit is so important. That's what I did with Shit Legit, and that's how I was able to do that for 7 months so consistently, is that method right there. That's how you identify if controversy is taking away from the video. And then emotion, right? Sparking a feeling in the viewer so they don't just watch, but they also convert, right? So every video, that's why you're tapping into pain, you're tapping into emotions, right? So Sebastian talked about this a lot, so I won't spend too much time on it, but it's that basic. You need to spark some sort of emotion every single video. You should be asking yourself that, like, okay, like what are people actually feeling right now? Because that's not just what's gonna get them to watch and, actually care about the video to have a higher watch time, but also convert, right? That's what's gonna get them to pull out their credit card and buy their product, is tapping into their emotions. And then fast paced, super simple. Get rid of dead space, change the background between clips. The best way to make your video feel fast paced, you don't want to be yapping. Like right now I'm talking pretty fast, that's just kind of how I am. But in your TikTok shop videos, this is something that Owen did a lot. He'd yap just like so quick. And the way you want, because you want your videos to be fast paced, sure, especially, it depends on, like for Shit Legit, you need your video to be fast paced. For a walking pad, like one of your main products, it's like, you may not need that because it's different demographics, right? Shit Legit, I'm promoting to idiots, goldfish attention spans. Walking pad, I'm promoting to stay-at-home moms, people who watch TV shows, and they have more of an attention span. So you don't need to have the videos fast paced. But when you need a fast paced video, instead of talking faster, change the background in your clips. So like record a clip, go lay down, record a clip, and that makes the video feel so much more like spontaneous, random, keeps the attention span going, and gives it that fast-paced feeling without just being so quick. When you're yapping so quick, nobody believes what you're saying, and it just feels inauthentic as hell. So that's a good way to make your video fast-paced that I always do. And then tone, nobody will listen to shit you have to say if you sound like you want their money, right? So obviously you don't want people to know that they're selling you, like that you're selling them with the hook, typically. typically, right? For most videos, you don't want people to know that. It can work just selling straight off rip, 100%. You know that. It can work selling straight off rip, but like typically for most of your videos, you don't necessarily want that. And so tone, right? And what I work on and what I do and what I tell people is there's different mindsets for tone. The way to improve your tone is trying different mindsets. So a really popular one, right, is FaceTime a friend. Another popular one that actually Owen taught me is before you film your videos, it's like, okay, you want to speak really monotone and really boring, and then you want to speak really salesy and really like, oh my God, buy this product, and then you want to find the middle. That's another mindset behind it. Another one is, pretend like you're talking to one person. That's something Sebastian talks about, is pretend like you're talking to one person, right? Everybody, their tone, a different mindset will apply to them, right? So like for me personally, it's like I have to forget that I'm even talking to people. I can't even like one person, it's like one person or 1,000. I have to forget that I'm getting, you know, X amount of people, 100,000 people seeing my videos, because then it just makes me weird. So that's the mindset that I have, right? So that's why you want to keep trying different mindsets. And if you're not consciously thinking about how to improve your tone with every single video, you're doing something wrong, right? Because improving your tone, that is what will give every single video you post in the future way more chance to go viral, right? It's just having a good tone. If your tone is shit, it's like, it doesn't matter how winner of a product you have, it's not going to do shit, right? Because people, they don't even believe you because you have a shit tone. So that's the way that I like to go about it with tone, and just trying different mindsets, right? FaceTime a friend, the monotone, salesy method, and then just forget you're talking to anybody, forget you're talking to one person, try all those different mindsets.
The thing that Owen does, I actually do naturally. I'll record a video and I'll like be like, oh, this hook sounds too salesy. Then I'll record it again and be like, oh, that one's a little too slow. Then I'll record it and it's just right. So I guess I do the one naturally.
Exactly, yeah.
Too just natural. Is that, how did you find that out? Just through YouTube? Or?
Actually, I don't know if you guys know what Larvae is.
Okay. I don't know.
You ever heard of him?
He does skits with his girlfriend a lot. I was gonna say white dude that does skits with his girlfriend.
Personal brand pages, and that's one of the strategies he did. But like, yeah, like I'll be filming sometimes, like oh, that was too, you know, too serious or not like
too salesy. Yeah, I feel too like, buy this right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So super important, and that's a really good method. And that's the mindset that ended up working for him and how he was able to improve his tone, right? So super important. And then hooks, right? Most important part of the video. One mission is to generate curiosity, right? That's all your text hook should be. It's either controversy or curiosity, right? Like one of those two is typically what you want it to be, because that's what's going to drive out watch time. People, they want to be curious about what they're going to see next, and you need to build anticipation. And so text, right? Text hooks, people see the text hook before they hear your verbal hook. It goes visual hook, people see first, and then text hook, and then verbal, right? So people emphasize verbal hook so much because it is so important, right? Because people really take that to heart. But the text hook is super important because people are seeing that before they're even hearing what you're saying, right? People can read that super quick. So it is super important to have a good text hook. Me personally, I'm not gonna lie, when I'm editing my videos, sometimes I get super lazy. I'll throw up some bullshit text hook, but you need to put more time into it because it is important, right? And like, if you really want to work hard and maximize, like putting more effort, just a couple minutes into thinking about your text hook can be super important. And some text hooks literally save videos. Some videos wouldn't go viral without a good text hook. So it's like, that's a small little attention to detail things you guys need to have. And then verbal, right? Same thing, except playing some more emotion, right? So verbal hooks, you guys understand that, right? Just like Sebastian went super in depth with how to actually do that. Visual hooks requires the most creativity, right? Like for Shit Legit, good example, I held the phone by my ting, right? That's just what I did. And that is why that shit went viral. It wouldn't have gone viral if I didn't do that. Because it's so controversial. People are like, what's happening? This is weird. People are uncomfortable, but it still converted well. So that's why I kept doing it, right? But so visual hook is super important, and it takes the most creativity. It's like, I don't know how I thought of that or why I thought to do that. Maybe I saw somebody else do it. I don't remember. Honestly, I hope I did. I hope that didn't come from my own head because it's kind of weird, but that's just the way I went about doing it, right? It's super important. Once again, the visual hook, if you don't have all three of these dialed in with every single video, like that's such an easy thing that you can do to maximize your chance to go viral, right? Visual, verbal, and text is so important. And then how to curate the body of the video, right? So maintaining curiosity as long as possible is super important. And that's why you guys, the balloon dropping videos with Goalie, right? We've probably all seen that shit. That shit's going stupid viral. It's like people are saying, if you have this, if you have this, if you have this, if you have this, people are like, if I have this, what? Like, what is he gonna say, right? And that whole time, they're just relating to pain points. That's why that style, that concept is going so viral right now. It's just insane, right? It's a great hook. They carry the curiosity for so long. And the longer you can maintain the curiosity, the better, right? Obviously, you don't want to wait too long to sell a product. If it's a 30-second video, you start selling the product 22, 25 seconds, nobody's gonna buy it because you don't have enough time to sell it. But generating curiosity is like, not only is that your goal with your hook to get people to keep watching, but also you can generate curiosity with the way that you're promoting a product or with the way that you're selling the product in the back end of the video, right? There's multiple different spaces within the video where you can think like, okay, how can I just like refrain from saying this information really quick and like just kind of like edge people along into the information, right? That's how you can generate the best curiosity. And then so hook, pain points, benefits, call to action, right? And by benefits, I mean desired outcome, like Sebastian's spent a lot of time talking about, right? So you want to talk about their pain points. It's like, you want to associate the fact that, you know, people are fat to then being skinny, right? Like you, Sebastian said, having the space in your pants, right? But you want to make sure you're touching on the pain points first, especially with supplements, right? Supplements, it's super important to do that, or something that solves like direct pain. Like a leg massager is like a good example of like, okay, hook, pain points, benefits, call to action, right? Desired outcome, call to action, right? Same thing, in my opinion. And then people don't buy products, right? They buy the solution to the pain, right? So nobody, like Sebastian said, nobody cares about the features. Nobody gives a fuck that the water bottle is metallic. They care they're not drinking microplastics, right? Nobody cares. So it's super important to actually do that. I see so many people, this is why their videos are so long, right? The longer your video is, the lower the watch through rate is, the lower the average watch time is, right? So if you're just yapping about bullshit that's unimportant, that's why I said every single thing that you should say, like, you don't want to get too micro analytical to where you're tone shit, but everything you say should have some sort of a purpose, right? It should be serving the purpose of a hook, a pain point, desired outcome, call to action, or controversy, right? If it doesn't align with one of those, you probably don't need to say it, right? So that's super, super important. And then if you have a transformation, in my opinion, showing that as soon as possible. That's what I've always had the most success with, is showing that as soon as possible. And one thing I'll never recommend, never do a before and after, like on screen pictures. That'll get you fucked, right? So violation prone. One thing you can do is have a before picture and then say, this is what I look like now. Not, this is what I look like 2 weeks later, right? You can do that, but it's a bit of a risk, right? Is actually putting a time frame on it. But so I just pop up a before picture and then this is what I look like now. And the earlier that you can do that in your video, the more proof people have, the more authority the video has, the more likely people are gonna actually stick around and watch because they know what they're watching is real. They've seen the transformation, like, oh, okay, I've seen the transformation. And then the curiosity that keeps them watching is, okay, how do I achieve X, Y, and Z result, right? So that's super important. What up?
You can put the transformation as the hook or like part of the hook.
Patrick, we went, or I don't know if you were there when we went over that video, but this dude Patrick, it was a the Be Body Wise roll on, right? He was like, this was me, this was my hairline 6 months ago, this is me now, right? It's like boom, instant, like there's still curiosity there, because even though he's, you know, it's pretty salesy off rip, it's like, okay, there's still a lot of curiosity as to how, like, that's such a deep-rooted pain point that everybody on the planet, right? Everybody, even if you have a small hairline, you're probably insecure about it and think about it, right? So that's why that worked. But yeah,
so with, like, it feels weird because this everything that you're like saying to resupply, like with the, I mean, the leg, I guess I have everything proven. Like right now, I'll show you my account and like.
Yeah, well, we can do that after 100%.
Yeah, and like I'm really, how do I put it? It feels, is it really like that simple? I guess you could say.
What do you mean?
Like, this is, like I have a proven thing that's working. Like a lot of affiliates try to steer away from what I feel like I already found, like my unicorn. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Like I could run this for like 7-8 months. It's everything that you put in the slide. For example, we'll do skits, and then if skits are done working, you're doing a different type of pain point. Now, what I really want to do right now is putting on like pictures of like varicose veins or like stuff like that. But I'm kind of worried about violations. So how proof like that? I feel like this would do a whole. This is a whole angle of conversions for the leg massagers.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because I could put a picture into ChatGPT, because my mom has a crazy ass scar, and ChatGPT, I already had some pictures, and it does some different pictures. Is that violation prone, or is that good?
I mean, I would say, like, as long as it's an original picture, that's what you should try to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's important. That's the best way to go about it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna, like, then maybe just take, like, different angles, because, bro, I'm telling you, like, the knee surgery is weird. Like, one side, my mom's leg won't look as big, and then one side, the angle will look, like, ridiculous. So what I'm asking is, I would just cycle those two pictures, right? Like, basically, and then, like, this is a whole nother, like, angle to, like, even with the review, like, have, like, I don't really need to, do you get what I'm asking? Like, just spam upload this whole, like, how do I word this? So, spam upload, basically. All right, if you're working 10 hours a day, and then I put like a picture of like, you get like that, what I'm saying. And then I go on to talking about this, like reinforcing, and then go straight to CTA. And then I run it again, and run it again, and run it again. That's good, like that's.
Yeah, so it's kind of like I was saying with the shirts when I was doing mine. It's like I had that angle that cooked, and Owen had asked, and so I just kept doing it over and over and over again. I would either do it word for word, or like keep it pretty similar. Once that got cooked, then that's when we'd start getting skit style, but it was still the same product.
Exactly, and that's why I said, like, once you go viral, the further away you get from that original virality, the more you need to change. That's why he drained that concept, changed something else. It just continuously gets further away from the original idea, but if you're able to recreate it good enough, it's still under the same concept, same product. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite sayings.
The main point is like the idea. Now I just got to keep recreating around that.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, or try and find different pain points if that product has one, right? Yeah, transformation, just be vague, right? If you don't want to get a violation. Is violation prone, so be vague. I wouldn't put a time frame on it. I would just show maybe a picture of the before and then show a video of the after, right? Live. That's how you can kind of avoid violations. And also with risk, right? This is what I want to talk about is you like people always ask me all the time, like people I'm working with, they're like, yo, like I saw this video, like is that okay to say? Like is that violation prone? Like this dude went viral with it, like should I do it? One, just because somebody else does it does not mean you're gonna be safe doing it, and I feel like everybody knows that, right? But the thing about that is if you go on the daily virals, else, like a lot of the videos are violation prone. Like a lot of the videos, you're like, oh shit, like, you know, I could have got a violation, or like he low-key, or you showed me something earlier where like this dude was just guaranteeing results for 30 seconds. He was just like, yeah, you're not gonna be fat, you're not, right? But this dude's got millions of views, he probably got paid out fat, right? And so that's what I want to talk about, risk taking. Would I say you're not gonna be fat? No, I would never say that. Especially weight loss, you want to be hella careful. I wouldn't even try and touch that, you guys are gonna get cooked. But what, like with taking risk, it's like you want to just take them in small proportions, right? Something that I did that I learned, this time I learned from hard truth, right? My main account got banned, like baby. I got banned, and it's because I found something that went viral. Posted the first video, got like 5 million views, and I just spammed. I was like, oh my God, yes, like, I need to recreate this, I need to recreate this. But I knew it was violation prone. So then when I got a violation, I didn't just get 1 for the original video, I got 10 and I lost my account, right? So taking risk is so important, but you want to do it in proportion, right? You don't want to just spam out a ton of risky ads videos, because then if you get 1 violation, you're probably gonna get 10, your account's fucked and it's gone, right? But that's why if you just post 1 or you do 1 a week, you can post it, it goes viral. Okay, I didn't get a violation. Okay, I can post another one. That's kind of risky, right? That's how you can like play into risk without being like all on offense, you know, just like slow roll out the risky content. If you look on the daily browse, a lot of that shit's risky.
I know, I don't know if you guys know, like Roman Evans, he did like a conspiracy video, got like 20 million views, he made like, he was having like 6-7K days, and then he just lost, like, banned.
You lose all of it.
Yeah.
He lost all the income?
He got his account got banned like a week later.
No shots.
Because he was leveraging the Texas floods as like a conspiracy, and then you go on like the Simpsons episode, and then like.
Oh, Simpsons is cooked. That's how you get a violation. That's how you get a violation, bro. But yeah, so that's why I always say that. And yeah, 100%. It's like just slow roll the risky videos that you want to make, right? And I'm not telling you just go post risky content. I don't want to be, you know, this is not financial advice. I don't want to be liable for your account getting cooked. I was like, no, that's the smartest way that I go about doing it, and I do it with my own accounts, and I'm comfortable doing that method. Because I know if I get 1 violation, that's cool, whatever. And then yeah, if you can show, then forget talking, just show the product, right? If you get, nobody believes you if you can show the benefits, like that doesn't need to be said. Sebastian went over that a lot and covered it great. It's like you want to show, if the product can show. With that steamer or whatever, if some chick popped up on screen and was like, oh, this steams my clothes so well, I would have been like, right? But she's showing it, and I'm like, holy shit, this works really well, right? So that's why if you can show the product, show it. Don't even bother telling. Lullaby gummies, that's a good example. You know, like the lullaby videos, like the sleep gummy videos where they're like, oh, this is me trying melatonin, like this is me 30 minutes before the gummy. And then like they're showing the results, like, oh, I'm so tired, right? It's obviously bullshit. It's probably 2 p.m. But right, that's besides the point, right? Is they're showing it, right? And something I told Owen, or I think I'm pretty sure it was you, is like, you don't have to go about explaining that product so much longer and making the video so long, because like you showed the benefits, right? So it's like if you can just show the benefits, people will believe it more, it'll still convert well, and you don't have to yap about the product forever. You see what I'm saying? So if you can show, just skip telling. But yeah, skip telling as much, right? You still need to educate a little bit. And then what is a good CTA, right? Scarcity, urgency, simplicity, and effect, right? So has the product already sold out twice as free? Yes, right? Like, oh my God, this product is already sold out twice as free. You guys want to grab it? Links down below, right? Keep it super, super simple. You don't want to have an insanely long call to action, because that just lowers your watch through rate, lowers your average watch time, and the video's not even going to go viral. Nobody's going to even stick around to watch the call to action or watch it. You're not going to get enough eyes on that video because the video is so long, because you have a 20-second call to action, right? So keep it relatively simple, unless, like we said, like bottom of funnel, it's just a walking call to action, because it's so short. The longer the video is, the softer CTA you can typically do, because you pre-sold it, right? Super important. And then urgency, right? Does the flash sale end tonight? That's the basic stuff that you guys know. Simplicity, don't take forever, right? It only hurts the watch through rate of the video, making it less likely to go viral, right? If you just do it for so long. And then the effect, right? And this is kind of a hot take, but something that I honestly stand by is the CTA won't change the outcome of the conversions as much as you'd think, right? What does is relating to people's pain points, selling them on the desired outcome, and doing the pre-selling before. That's how you can typically get your videos. The videos that have converted best for me, you know, $3,000 per mil, $4,000 per mil. It's like I didn't have some 20-second thought out, calculated ass call to action. It was like I just did the simple shit that I normally do, the 5 to 10-second call to action, kept it simple, but I sold them so well, and I had the good style of video, I had the curiosity, and I sold them on themselves. I sold them on the desired outcome, that I didn't, all I had to do was just tell them where to get it, because they'd already sold, right? And something that Sebastian mentioned is looping around to the pain points again. If you guys want that clear skin, I'll leave the link to this down below in the bottom left. You guys can get it before the sale ends, right? Super simple call to action, really good to reloop to the pain. If you haven't sold the product as much, that's a really good time to do that. And then how to ensure conversion, right? So this is something that is just important. That's so many people, they go viral and don't make money. And I'm gonna talk about why going viral and not making money, or high views and low sales, is actually a good thing, right? And I'll talk about that on I think it's my next slide. But pain, right? Makes people aware of the pain and what it causes in their life. Sebastian went over this a lot, so I won't spend too much time. This next slide is really good. But benefits, right? Benefits, I mean, desired outcome, right? That's just how I say it. But nobody cares about how the goalie gummies taste. They care that they won't be fat. The goalie gummies taste like candy. They do, right? That's why people mention it, but you don't want to explain the fact of it tastes like this, it tastes like that. It's like nobody cares, right? They just want to not be fat. So that's, you know, if somebody could lose 200 pounds pounds by eating shit, like they'd probably do it, right? So it's just about the outcome, right? That's what people want. And it's good to mention, but just not spend too much time on the taste of the goalie gummies. You want to spend time on the actual desired outcome of it. And then, right, show the more benefits you show, the better, right? The more desired outcome you can show, the better. If you have a before and after and you're able to show it in real time, that's the best, and it's always going to convert the best. And then authority, right? I touched on this a little bit. X person takes this. Clips are great. Be careful right now, but the more the better, right? So the more authority you can provide, whether it's quality or quantity, right? And how I kind of frame that is like quality authority is LeBron James, Joe Rogan, right? That shit goes crazy. Everybody, you know, not everybody loves Joe Rogan, but a lot of people, they'll take his word on products, right? So that stuff does well, right? That's quality authority. Yeah, exactly. And quantity authority, right, is this product has X amount of sales, this many people have bought this product, X, Y, and Z. This product has so many 5-star reviews, and you can just be showing that, right? So that's the difference between like quality and quantity authority and how you can really ensure the video converts. And then hook, right? This is something that kind of like I went over with the method of like how you figure out why if your video, if the video is not converting because of you're not selling it enough, or if it's because of too much controversy, or if it's just because of the product, right? It ties in this method of if your hook is brain rot, then your audience will be, right? So the first 3 seconds, you're attracting the audience for the video, right? So if you're talking about some dumb shit, it's like you're just not gonna attract the right audience. And that doesn't mean you always need to do an extremely product focused hook, right? Like so many people, they'll just spam like, oh, if you have a bloated gut, take goalie ashwagandha, right? That can be good, but it's like you also want to get creative, right? You also want to do some that's what I would consider a product focused hook, right? You're talking directly about the benefits. You want to do some non-product focused hooks where you're talking about, you're telling a bit of a story, you're telling a hook, and then you're telling a bit of a story to correlate it to the benefits and then get to the pain points, right? So that's the way I like to say that. And so you don't want to have an insane hook. And a lot of the times, this is the reason that your video is converting like shit, right? It's because your hook just attracts the completely wrong audience or too young of an audience. And that's why you want to know your exact demographic, right? And also you want to make sure that you frame yourself the best you can, right? If I wanted to promote goalie ashwagandha to a stay-at-home mom, I should not be wearing a LeBron James jersey with a chain and a backwards hat, right? She's not gonna believe you, she's not gonna buy that shit. So you guys want to make sure you're framing yourself as like the type of person that would buy this product, or make sure you're framing yourself as the type of person watching the video would trust, right? So that's how I go with that. Yeah, that's you. So like when I'm making my videos, like sometimes I'll turn off my LED lights if I'm promoting a product like that, because like nobody's gonna buy a product with green LED lights in my room. It just looks dumb, right? So turn that shit off. It's just like a small little thing that can genuinely help conversion, especially when you do it time and time again in your videos. And then what mistakes am I making, right? What are the most common mistakes that people make? Saying the product name or showing the product too early, they know they're being sold, right? So I'm not saying you shouldn't say the brand and provide authority behind the brand. You definitely should, but it's like the earlier on you do that, typically the earlier that people know they're being sold. So if you just come out the gate of like, oh, goalie ashwagandha, right? Like it's just like, just stop, right? So like that's why I like to do it, and this generates a bit of curiosity, which I talked about earlier. It's like what I'll talk about is I'll just name the product, right? That's why I started taking this Shilajit, right? And then later on, then I'll touch on the brand, right? Because it's so salesy when you're mentioning like, oh, I take goalie ashwagandha, I take better all Shilajit, right? It's just like you don't want to do that too much, because then it's just like it's just so in your face being sold, right? So that's why I'll mention the product, but I won't mention like the brand name and just glaze the brand name until later on in the video if that's something I wanted to do, right? So that's kind of how I go about that. And yeah, that's how you can kind of avoid people know they're being sold and get a higher average watch time. And then putting more focus into the body instead of the hook and concept, right? That's one of the biggest mistakes. Is like if you're looking to recreate a video that converted well, it's like, why are you changing the body and the call to action? It's typically not going to change shit about the results of the video. What's going to recreate the virality is the hook and changing around the first 15 seconds of the video, right? So like you don't want to change too much about that if you're already getting the good conversions. It's like you don't want to be worrying about the back end too much, because the back end is proven, right? There's only so much you can say about the benefits of goalie ashwagandha. It's like you know what it does. It's like you just have to continually recreate that and recycle that. And what you should be focusing on when you're trying to recreate virality is the hook, right? If the video is converting well. If the video is converting like shit, then yes, you want to keep the beginning the same and change the back end, but that's the only time that you should typically be doing that, right? And then not consciously thinking every video on how to improve tone, right? So that's another mistake. Is like if your tone shit, like I said, every video that you post in the future, if your tone isn't the best it could be, it doesn't have as high of a chance to go viral. That's why it's so important to optimize tone, because you use your tone in every video, right? It's so important. So that's why you should constantly be thinking and trying out those different mindsets that I mentioned earlier on how to get the best tone. And then promoting products with shit commission or no real solution to a problem, right? They can still work. You can still promote fun products, right? There's people that, you know, promote like little toys and shit, right? It still does well, right? But it provides entertainment, right? It does provide some sort of value. But yeah, not every single product needs to relate to some deep ass pain point or some real solution. It's like you can, but it's typically best to do the ones that have the real pain. That's what's going to convert the best, right? The deeper the pain point that you can, you know, relate to and talk about in the video, the better the product's going to convert. So that's why like the forearm hand gripper, people don't care that much about having any forearms. They definitely care way more about not being fat, right? So that's why people will take yerba mate. They care way much more about being focused on their work and, you know, being able to scale their business. So that's why that yerba mate converts way better than the split speaker, right? Because it's, you know, a non-supplement product and it doesn't actually relate to like real pain. And those are a lot of the common mistakes. And then should I focus on quality or quantity? So I'm a big quantity, just like pusher. I say quantity, because typically it's just code for not working hard, right? It's like, oh, I want to do quality in my videos. It's typically just bullshit. It's like you really just don't want to post that much. And it's super easy to pump out quantity when you have the right systems behind it and how to actually recreate, which is something I'll talk about a lot tomorrow, because like recreating is like my thing. I love talking about that. And then the people, right? They vouch. Oh, the people that vouch for quality over quantity. Typically they're talking about like 1 minute plus conspiracy videos, right? They're talking about storytelling videos where it's like a minute plus. That's why they're saying quality over quantity. Because like, can you post 10 of of those a day? Like, yes, but it's definitely much harder. So people that you hear like, oh, well, I heard X, Y, and Z say quality, they're typically talking about some long ass conspiracy video. If you're making a 30-second video, there's no reason you can't post, 6 bare minimum to 10 a day, right? 100% you can. And then if you're not making, at least like 10K a month, right, consistently, it's like you don't even necessarily know what quality is. So you should just keep posting quantity, get your income up, and then focus on quality, and that's how you can really scale. And then it not only gives you more chances for virality and to improve, right? Obviously you want to improve with your content. The more you post, the more you're going to learn, and the more chance you have to go viral, right? Sure. But testing, right? The more quantity you post, the more you can test. You can test your hooks. You can test that angle that you want to with the leg massager, right? The more you post, the more you can test, the more you can figure out what's working, and then the more you can post of what that specific thing is that is working. So testing is super important, and that's why I also vouch for quantity. And I believe that is the last slide. So yeah, that's what I had. If you guys don't have any questions, that's me.
Questions? No. I got one. You got one first?
No, I'm mind blown.
There's a lot of information.
Hell yeah. Would you say a majority of your videos are like in that 30-second range?
That's typically how I like to do it. Like, that's just my style, like 25 to like 45 seconds. And like, there's different styles, right? It's like storytelling, which is like, you're talking about like, you start the video off by talking about like someone's grandma, and then you're talking about this product over here. It's like, those videos are typically longer. So it's kind of just like a style thing. My style is like the short talking head videos, getting to the point. And that's the style of like hook, pain points, desired outcome, call to action. And that's where my videos typically fall in.
Same with you?
Yeah, I would say anywhere from like 30 to 60 seconds, I feel like.
Yeah.
Unless I'm doing conspiracy, but I'm not doing that anymore. But
yeah, conspiracy. But yeah, but yeah, exactly. So that's kind of where my videos have to fall in. But yeah, that's what I have.
Oh yeah, good shit, bro.
Yes, sir.